And with that, we are back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for watching our ninth session, our ninth episode of A House Divided. Of course, this is in partnership with Foundry VTT, a fantastic virtual tabletop that is complex, but trust me. If you give it some time, it is so much fun. It is super, 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 super powerful. And as you will see tonight, has a lot of shenanigans to it. Now, as we're delving back in, as we're getting towards the end of the month, I just wanted to do a big shout out again towards the community. I've been just kind of looking back onto it, and it's been truly wonderful to see how we have grown over the last 2.5 years. And I mean, it's just super cool. We're looking at some really exciting projects for later in the year, and none of that would have been possible without you all. So I just wanted to say one more time, thank you guys for that. Gesundheit. With that, that's it. I don't really have a whole lot of announcements. There's some cool stuff that we have in the pipeline, but it's not super concrete yet. So I don't want to hype you guys up too much. Just know that we are working on some stuff that is super exciting. I'm super excited about it. Anyways, that's pretty much it from me. Do you guys have anything about the Nerdiverse, or are we ready to delve back in?
Legend of Dragoon is on
Ready.
PS Plus. And that's all I'm gonna do outside of D&D until I beat it again. It was my favorite game on the PlayStation.
Alrighty, with that, let's delve back in. Now, the reason that we have such a joyous soundtrack playing in the background is because previously on A House Divided, our group of paranormal, let's call them investigators of a high fantasy setting, had been, well, kind of self-appointedly, because Brockton, of course, is technically one of the heirs to this estate house. You went in to investigate it, trying to find what you might about the various things that are going on within the house. Now, as all of this is going on, oh gosh, hang on 1 second. There.
Can't sing the version.
Alrighty. With that,
That's all I got.
as you guys had moved forward, sorry, sometimes do have to take care of things. As you guys moved forward through the house, you discovered that there was quite a bit of different stuff going on. And I am trying to... Okay, this is one of those times when it is actually kind of hard to figure out exactly what might be happening in the background. I think I know. There we go. That's a little bit better. So as we're picking back up, I apologize for that. I got a second audio source in, and that's what sometimes happens. As you all had traveled into the house, the manor, you figured out that Darius Corvinaris, the granddaddy of Brockton, apparently was working with multiplanar shenanigans. He was working on some kind of a sanctum, trying to combine energies by colliding different planes together using something called quintessence of planar energies, pearls. What exactly that all means, you are still trying to figure out, but you know that there is some kind of extra dimensional sanctum within which you presume Corvinaris is, I don't know, legacy might be found. And whatever might be causing everything, these multi-split planar situation, as you guys find yourselves now within the Feywild after having barely escaped death fighting against these weird arcane wraiths, you of course find yourselves within the Feywild. There, you got to meet the ravenous host of revelers that seem to be part of normally the Wild Hunt, but have been setting up shop in your ancestral home. Now, Cherneros, one of the leaders of this area, apparently took a keen eye to you as soon as you were seen by some hobgoblin guards. You conversed with him and you found out, Brockton, that your mother apparently had been living here for the past 2-3 decades. Now, as part of that, it seems that her persona has changed. It seems that over time she had become different. It seemed that the Feywild itself had infused within her. As you know, the time within the Feywild can pass very differently. As Generos explained it, seasons had passed. They had changed from spring to summer to fall, and he's worried that it will now change to winter. This is not years that have passed, but rather seasons, which of course themselves can have had multiple tens, maybe even centuries of years pass within it. Your mother also found herself significantly changed as you get to meet her for just a little moment. Rather than the beautiful woman that you knew her as, a human, she was a imposing but beautiful gargantuan dragon, a creature of fey magic and scales, rather than the woman that you knew. You came back to the party wanting to share your findings, but of course, instead of that, what we ended up finding was a little bit more, should we say, let's just say a situation where Henry had been very much drinking a lot of the revelers' Kool-Aid. During these shenanigans, Ben was, of course, trying to find anything that he could animate maybe back into bones, and the dark, shadowy twins just felt incredibly sick. It seemed that their prior planar being exposed to the Shadowfell seemed to clash and not very well kind of mesh within the energy of the Feywild. We pick back up as it appeared that during the drinking, Henry had what seemed like some purplish energy flowing through his veins, something that Bryn was able to spot as he snuck up behind him because he is such a sneaky snack wizard, and cut one of the veins of Henry. As the purple blood starts to spurt out, everything kind of stops there for a moment. As all of you guys look towards Henry, you kind of look back over your shoulder, you see Bryn, you can see the self-satisfied smirk on his face, very much feeling like he has got you. And it's maybe in that moment that Bryn really realizes that this towering large creature of a purple person is angrily hovering over him. Before we position ourselves, we're going to potentially go into combat. But as that happens, Bryn, you get a quick quip, followed by Henry's response.
Yes. So nervous.
Henry will just he'll just like look down at the blood going out, and he's not going to attack Bryn, but he's just going to grab him so that and just like lift him into the air, or attempt to, I guess.
We'll say as part of the roleplay flow here, Bryn, go ahead and make me an athletics or an acrobatics check, and Henry, you make me an athletics check.
Athletics, you said?
Mm-hmm. Athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Oh, right. In order to get a 22, I have to roll a natural 20, so here goes nothing.
Oh,
all right.
got halfway there. Yeah. That could be one. That could be a natural 20.
As that happens, Bryn suddenly gets picked up into the air. Sebastian, Celine, you guys are kind of recovering from having, of course, emptied the contents of your stomach. Brockton, Marcus, you two had just arrived with Generis as he's like trying to tell you the next steps, and suddenly Henry's just like picking him up as your skin ripples and changes. Henry, you are now outwardly exhibiting the purple person that you truly are. As you turn towards the others, you see these faces looking up at you. Shock, surprise, maybe eagerness, disgust, whatever it might be. And for a second, you find yourself almost stunned. And we all find ourselves in a very different time, decades prior. The staff of the house, the Raventree Manor, was busy in the preparations for Ilana's feast. The memory of her, of course, was very keen in many of people's minds, but none more than the person who ran the staff. Of course, there was the butler, but the true head of the household who kept things together was, of course, the Seneschal. And as the Seneschal walked through the rooms, whenever he saw a staffer maybe slacking off, if you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean, was a saying that was very oft repeated within the manor. And if you've ever worked the service industry,
I would not have liked him when I was a kid.
God,
probably not.
Had traumatic flashbacks.
Same.
As you watch the Seneschal walk from room to room, checking on the kitchens, making sure the bedding was done, of course making sure the red room was set for the evening, you see him following around as the staff has set up the food, and many of the people downstairs in the long dining hall are now chatting. You hear silverware scraping against nice porcelain down below, but on the floor above that, where of course many of the staffers stay, the Seneschal has asked for attention. As he claps, the staff turns towards him. This evening is important, as you all know. The Lord has called many important people to the manor, and it is important, of utmost importance, I would say, that everyone is satisfied. Some of the biggest name of the crown of the empire are here this evening, and I will not have the name of the Corvinaris family besmirched. Additionally, as you may have noticed, Kryn seems to be somewhat on edge, but he has, his typical edge about him. Just be on the lookout. I do not want anyone to get hurt, particularly any of us. So if he goes too far, as he is wont to do so often, just let me know. I will handle him. You suddenly hear a ting 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 from down below, as someone must have taken up one of the crystal glasses and uses the silverware to ding against it, and we hear a muffled noise from down below. Henry, I'll tell you what, go to make me a perception check. You were not able to make out the words that evening. You were not able to really hear anything, but you recognize the cadence and the thrum of this voice, the depth, the bass. Sorry, bass. Bass is technically a fish. I'm German. As you heard that, you recognized the voice of Darius speaking down below, addressing the people. There's suddenly a scraping, a noise of a chair being violently pushed back. Two male voices seemingly arguing back and forth. As the staff all kind of fell quiet, the Seneschal shifts uncomfortably. You recognize the angry voice, the one shouting back at Darius, to be that of Kryn, as the two of them seem to have gotten into yet another one of their arguments. The Seneschal once again claps, getting the attention of the staff, as he says, "Well, it appears that we are going to have a very, very, very long evening ahead of us. Please make sure that we put away some of the stronger liquors." And with that, suddenly, an explosion rockets upward. You see arcane energies interweaving like radiation fans coming up through the floor that you're standing up, pushing through each of you, as there seems to be some kind of a magical power that rips through all of you, tearing you apart. As you suddenly hear screams, not just with your own ears, but another set of ears, and another set of ears, and another set of ears, as all of these people suddenly find themselves at the epicenter of an arcane explosion being then pulled back together, almost like there was an outward explosion that left a vacuum, and as it pushes back together, with the clattering of glass and shattering of whatever is not hard enough, you found yourselves get pulled together into a singular form, a singular being. As your bodies contort and twist, bubble, melt, and then reconfigure, you feel the arcane energy piercing through you, bubbling you up, contorting and mutating you. As you suddenly look, you see energy radiating off of the mirrors about you, kind of pointing inward. You notice that they seem to have been arrayed, obviously, to be across one another, because the Seneschal appreciated the symmetry, and in fact, if anything was not symmetrical, you were going to respond to the Seneschal about that. But now all these mirrors, as they're pointed inwards towards the room, almost creating these infinite corridors across, they reflect all of you as you look upon yourselves, looking upon yourselves, looking upon yourselves. Screams, crying, anger, despair, the voices of half a dozen people are ringing in your head. They're your voice and someone else's voice, and the seneschal suddenly just goes, quiet, 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 quiet. As the multitude of voices respond to the seneschal's call after so many years of training, you find yourself combined, reconfigured, made anew. Brockton, as you find yourself back in the current moment, you look up towards Henry, and suddenly, as the purple energy changes about him, the flesh kind of rippling outward, you suddenly see his face as well kind of get yanked this way and that as it cycles through the faces of some of the staff. One by the other, you recognize them now, sometimes almost splitting in two and then coming back together as Henry, like holding Bryn there, who's like, shit, kind of being held aloft. What do you say?
By all the gods, what is happening?
Henry will just put like Bryn in front of him and be like, if you hold on, we can all calm down without this escalating.
He's a goddamn purple people.
Well, that's interesting. I think I like him better now, right, Cece? Oh no. No, we don't. We don't like that. Not at all.
Oh, you muted.
Sorry about that. I'm gonna stand up and just walk towards him. Not say anything, but just, like, watch carefully.
He doesn't make any aggressive moves. He just, like, waits for the response that we're going to not be aggressive right now. He's just, like, looking at all of them, just holding Bryn just in case, they decide to do anything. Hold on out there. Would you be willing to talk? Or this could go very poorly for yourselves.
Oh, that escalated quickly. Oh my.
Let's start with putting Bryn down then.
Let's set him down.
As you get set down gently, there's a little bit of a moment of tension as Chinaris kind of steps forward. I remember stories of you, of the travelers that came through that saw you. You're the monster of the many faces, the myriad, as we call you.
I like that name. You can call me that name. I'll be called the Myriad. We will be called the Myriad.
You have never
Ew.
crossed into this plane. How did you manage?
Well, we didn't really mean to. It's more of just by pure accident. We didn't really know. It happened.
They are with you? He turns towards Brockton and Marcus.
I guess we shall see.
We thought that was our friend Henry.
I see.
I'm still not entirely sure what's going on.
Well, your friend never made it out of the mirror, but I did.
He's a purple people. And no, he's not with us. He's a bad guy. So maybe we should deal with that.
Is Henry still alive on your side of the mirror?
He is. And that is what we can make a deal on.
Yes, what do you want?
I think it is very simple. We want to be let out of the house.
That doesn't seem so bad.
Exactly.
I shoot Sebastian up.
What? I don't know. You're supposed to be let out of the house. A little bit of fun.
So you can't get out on your own?
We have had difficulties. I mean, if you have looked at us before, it was very unsightly. So we would like to be allowed out of the house, and we've had a few snacks here and there of others that we can try and leave, but it just never seems to happen. We can never leave. So with your help, we leave the house, and then in exchange, we give you back your Henry.
What makes you think we can get you out of the house?
You are a capable group of adventurers. I think you guys can figure it out where we could not.
Let's can I ask a question first? What are you?
We are everyone that you once knew, Brock. We are the gardeners. We are your housekeepers. We tended your beds, threw your sheets, washed your clothes. We are everyone inside of the house.
Oh.
So when I thought I saw, I suppose it was some projection or aspect of you turn into Peggy as it faded away, that was what was left of Peggy?
Yes, and we do mourn her loss. But we do hope to one day separate out and become individuals again.
How did you become what you are?
That was your stupid family's fault.
You suddenly see it change into a different phase. And then back into Henry's.
I would be like, sorry, sometimes the other ones get out a little bit, and I get, I keep it. It just happens every now and then.
Would it be possible to speak with Usk?
Henry, Myriad, what you would know is that Usk indeed still exists. That he is also split amongst the planes, apparently. He was close. He was the one who was down there with everyone else. But where exactly and how he travels, you had glimpsed him before through the mirrors, walking through. You know that he can cross where you could not. Leave the house, at least into a different plane, at least, where you could not.
He is... I cannot bring him forth, so I am sorry. He is not a part of the Myriad.
That's interesting. Do you know if he still exists?
I have seen him through the mirrors, but I have not spoken with him, but I know he at least still lingers in the living form somehow.
Are you only made up of the family's servants, or are there others that are a part of you?
There have been a few that have come into the house that I have grown so hungry and eaten. Sometimes we ran out of food, and so we need other sources of consumption.
How do you know Henry's okay?
guess, David, could I somehow show them Henry, or release Henry, or
Without a mirror? No. But with a mirror.
you will just?
Well, I mean, we always have mirrors on us, right, Cece? No, it's good. Problem.
I guess
mean,
is there a mirror?
I actually do have one if you say that.
Does anyone have a mirror?
Yes.
That's
Fisher in
it.
my bag. It's just a little like 2x3 steel mirror.
I guess he'll like grab it, and then just like, you'll see some purple tendrils, like from his hand, like instead of a hand, it's now purple tendrils, and start encasing the mirror, and then I will show them a picture of Henry.
As you hold it over, there's this kind of like self-satisfied smile on Henry's face that kind of points towards it, but all you guys see is the reflection of yourselves. And Henry, you kind of realize that you're not getting the reaction that you're hoping for, and you kind of turn it around, and Myriad, you're like, oh shit. And that is when it occurs to you that the mirror capabilities don't seem to cross the threshold of planes.
That one doesn't seem to be working here in this, Fey realm that we called it, so you will have to trust me now. But he is alive. But if I were to die and not go back to the real world, he would then just be consumed fully by the Myriad. We kept him as a leveraging chip in case things like that happened. And
So now we need to not only trust you that he's alive, but we need to keep you alive and make sure that you get back.
Yes, indeed.
That's incredible. Well played. I respect that. Honestly.
We have things to do, so Henry's just gonna have to wait.
I am more than willing to assist you in your endeavors, so that we may speed this process along, and you guys can get me out of the house. And who knows, maybe along the way we find a way to get us out of the house.
The last time I saw Henry, he was being attacked. Is that what's happening to him now? Is he being attacked?
No, you can consider it more of subdued, asleep. Think of it, he's having nice dreams.
Why do you want to get out of the house?
Why, did you say?
Huh?
Because who would want to be stuck in this stupid house? Sorry. It's just, you stay in one place for such a long time, you get a little, you forget that trapped feeling. So we just really want to leave permanently.
What will you do if you're out of the house?
We will live. We will be just like you. We will set up homes. We will set up community. We will do whatever we decide to do. And, we did say that we wanted to split ourselves. So we will find some fine wizards that aren't obsessed with dead bodies, and separate ourselves.
Good.
To be
That wasn't gonna
fair,
help
Bryn's
anyways.
more obsessed with the lack of dead bodies than with the actual dead bodies.
No,
Right.
this is fair. It's fair.
How hungry are you? Just out of curiosity. Like, how big is your appetite? Because I know, I'm just assuming, when we let you out, you're going to go on a feasting sort of rampage, and just want to know what sort of like body count we're looking at already.
I mean, I can also sustain myself with normal food as well, but you guys have seen the state of the house, and there's not really anything edible in there anymore, and so that is why we resolved to eating the stray adventurers that came into the house, because they were, they satisfied the hunger.
Well, I don't see a problem with any of this. I support it, in fact. Well, but then we can get Henry back. A little bit of freedom for someone else we don't know. Everyone deserves freedom.
Can't argue with that.
It's a little weird that you're trapped in the house, though.
You're clearly not trapped in the house. You're here.
But we are still in the house, are we not?
Hmm.
And you're restrained to the grounds,
So-
correct? Not just within the walls.
I do not know what that was. Yeah, I assume that.
How much do you want to give away, Henry? Or I should say, Mariette.
Henry would be honest about that part, if he can go into the grounds or not.
What has happened before is that it was almost as if there was a magical tether that pulled you back like a leash, like a dog that had been chained into with a spigot in the ground, and you couldn't go past it. As much as you did, your skin became weak and you could barely crawl, and you decided to turn back towards the house as your strength once again returned to you. It is interesting. Part of you was trepidatious even crossing through this weird vortex that you guys ended up jumping into, but you feel at full capability. Though I will say, as the drink kind of seems to, come down a little bit, you seem to also shrink back down to your normal size. So if you want to,
But
you can
yes,
tell me
it,
now.
it's like I just keep on getting pulled back. I can go into some of the grounds, but I can't go really too far. It's, it's a certain radius, so to speak, from I would consider it probably the epicenter of whatever your stupid family did to me, to us.
Plane are you from?
I am from the same, I guess not the same as you, darling, but I am from the same as everyone else.
I'd like to make an insight check on that, please.
Alrighty, what exactly are you trying to suss out? So again, insight checks are not true or false detectors, but like, what is it that you're trying to suss out? What intuition call are you going for?
I mean, I've never seen a purple. I'm not from this realm, obviously, but I've never seen someone with tendrils for hands here. I'm not familiar with this species, so I just feel like that might have been a little white lie, which is understandable,
Make an insight check.
obviously. Okay. Yes.
It's maybe a little
Alright,
bit
you're
difficult with
poisoned.
how sick you've been feeling as you're trying to just kind of get a feel, but you do get the sense that there is an eagerness. There's a sincerity in that anger that Henry, Mariette, whatever the fuck it is, seems to be speaking about whatever your family did. There's a sincere anger towards that you do pick up on. Everything else, it's hard. It's hard to tell whether that is something that they are completely making up. Maybe Henry is indeed dead and they're just playing a game with you, but the chance that true Henry, is still alive, being kept in some weird fugue state by what you saw, a swarm of these purple creatures striking down upon him. There's a shiver that runs down your spine thinking on that.
All right. How do we get back to, that middle realm, the normal realm, call it?
Material plane.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Bryn. You read a lot of books. We all know that. Thank you. Yes, you're very smart.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of material plane centric of you because not all of us are from there, so not a big deal, but whatever.
Go off, CC.
I do not know. I am new here as well. This is unfamiliar territory for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know this house inside and out. But we do not know this place.
Well, I think a great place to start would be to identify if this tether that you feel, which, by the way, can you feel that right now? Do you feel yourself being pulled back to any particular place in the house?
You know what? Strangely, I do not. It is, yeah,
Henry,
unique, but I don't feel
in
it.
fact, you look up and the entire ceiling here, what was the ceiling, was ripped apart. You can actually see the ceiling of the staff room. What was the Fey version of the staff room, you suppose? There is no floor there. There's like a cobbled together walkway on the western side of this. But other than that, this is essentially a 2-story tall hall now. That
But
is
I
usually
still
the
would
spot
prefer.
where you felt like the most tied to.
I would prefer to go back to the material realm, as you called it.
Well, perfect. Does anybody know how to get back? Right.
I still don't
This
even
one's
really know how we got
pretty
here.
We went through a portal.
Oh,
Marcus,
yeah.
Marcus
Yeah.
is just gonna tap on Brockton's shoulders. Just, well, we gotta tell them.
I suppose.
Tell us what?
So well, first, I suppose maybe some introductions. This is Lord Cherneros. He is an archfey and ruler of this realm within the Feylands. His wife is my mother, but she is now a dragon
Oh dear.
and is losing herself to her more base instincts, I suppose, maybe is the best way to put it.
Your mother was not made of the Feywild, though she always exhibited a power that was akin to it, something that only your kind, looking at you, Bryn, had an affinity for. Something that I appreciated about her from the beginning. It appears that the influence of the Fey is playing tricks on her mind, altering it in such a way that makes it impossible to truly reason with her. She's become a shadow of her former self. You also
Rock, are
notice
you a
that
dragon?
as this is kind of going, he like moves his left hand a little bit and is definitely casting a very subtle spell. And what's weird is all the sounds from the revelry have been blocked off. It's almost like you guys are in a weird sound bubble now.
I'm sorry if this is an insensitive question, but when did this happen? Is this when she passed? That she came here somehow? Or was it the reason Darius was looking for her?
Grandma dead. Mom not dead. Mom is dragon.
I'm sorry. What?
She did speak of her late mother. Her father
I
was...
tried to dumb it down for you, Celine. That was the best I got.
To answer the question that you seem to care about the most, I know of a way to cross back into the material, if that is what you seek. I have made an agreement with Brockton and Marcus here, in helping me return his mother back to lucid state. I promise you that I will lead you back to your world, your plane of existence, unharmed. Though I must warn you, Let's shh. Her mind is so far gone that this will not be an easy endeavor. It may be dangerous for you to attempt to speak sense into her, but I need you to try regardless. Not just for my behalf, but for Brock's. Please. I beg you.
This is something that I have to do. But I understand if any of you don't want to help.
Mr.
Generos.
Yep. I mean, absolutely. I'm all for helping Brock if it means we get to go back to what we were doing. Just one question, and we may have already asked you this, but I don't remember. We've been drinking and talking, and I met a really nice centaur over there. But if we're gonna be in some like life-threatening danger where it would be best if we were at like our peak, is there something you could do about those two?
He kind of considers the twins. Those
seems to be
of
the
the
problem?
shadow.
You've got like up on the side of your face.
Right.
Actually, that does raise a question. Apparently, when my mother was shunted here, my uncle and his family, his wife at least, were shunted to the shadow plane.
Indeed.
Do either of you happen to
Know him? I'm not sure.
or
Tell me
know
their names
anything
again.
of him?
Maybe we
Well,
do know
here
them. We
he
know a
went
lot
by-
of people.
Here he went, or at home he went. He was known as Kryn.
All right.
He could have any number of names now, but has there been a relatively recent arrival? I don't know how time works in the Shadow Realm, but has there been a relatively recent arrival that you've become aware of who's a magical threat?
We know of Kryn. He has attempted many times for seasons now to attack us here, exploiting shadow crossings and creating them. Elsieth, before she lost her mind, assumed that he had spent years honing his craft, mastering his magical capabilities, and he is a severe threat now. Though he seems to do the bidding of another, it appears that he is still bound. I sent a scout of mine, a satyr by the name of Timnus, to the Shadow Realm to parley, to negotiate. He never returned. That was enough answer for me. Kryn.
We would very much like to rip his spine out through his mouth as well.
I glance at Sebastian.
Oh, I kind of like it.
Doesn't suck.
There was another. The place that you have found. The Dreaming Grove, where your mother now sits and rules over the revelry. It has a shadowy mirror of sorts. It appears that a creature of power, a being that we refer to as Scorn Crow, has fed many sacrifices into that spot over the years. Elsieth had identified that your grandfather, Darius, had used the tree as a foci point, using pearls of some arcane nature to combine the planes with one another. It is there that she chose to lair with me, so that we could ensure that nothing could cross.
We found some of Grandfather's research on his planar experiments. I think we even found some of his keystones, for lack of a better word. But they seem to be keyed to the Shadow Realm.
We attempted to remove these pearls. Anyone who touched them was disintegrated to dust. Your mother presumed that there must be a way to stop the flow of magic, something that your father, I apologize, your grandfather, controlled. Did you see something like this upon the material?
There was... I don't know. Bryn, you know the arcane better than I do. How would you describe the runes that we found under the rug?
I mean, they were planar in nature.
A rug, you say? Where was this?
On the floor in the master suite.
Oh, I wonder if it's here.
You mean the room where your grandfather lived? Not your father,
Yes.
but your grandfather.
Yes.
Kind of looks towards Celine. I just wanted to clarify.
Thank you.
Well,
That's very helpful.
Slept and
There-
he probably didn't live in the room. He had this whole house.
I think he spent most of his time after my grandmother died in there doing his research.
There
Yes.
indeed is a circle that your mother found with arcane runes that seem to match your description. Your sister has studied them as well.
But she was kidnapped by Kryn, yes?
Indeed.
Does this mean we have to go to the Shadowfell?
It's not that bad, please. You raise dead people for a living. You'll feel
You'd
right.
love it, to be honest.
Brock, are you sure that these two are not associated with our enemy?
I don't believe they are. I know that they have connections to the Shadowfell, but I don't fully understand their source of power, but I don't believe they're connected to my brother, or my uncle, rather.
Just to be clear, the bad guy you're talking about is Kryn, right? Just for
Yes.
clarity.
Yes.
Alright, so we're all on the same page. Please carry on.
My wife's brother, Brockton's uncle, Darius's son.
Alright, so that's not helping. That actually makes it worse to
Imagine
understand.
a tree growing from the ground with strong roots and a thick, thick trunk. Imagine that
Mm-hmm.
at the bottom of it you have Darius
Go
and
on.
Alana, grandfather and grandmother to Brockton. They together had 2 children, Elsieth. And he actually says that. You see, druid crafting is like a small tree that kind of seems to just grow out of the ground in between some of these heavier pieces of rock, sprouting upward. And you can see the flowers, the vines, the leaves themselves seem to kind of form themselves into the names. Ilana and Darius had 2 children, Kryn and Elsieth. Elsieth, of course, had 2 children herself. Well, 3. He looks towards Brockton. Kryn had none, but he married the 2-faced Vivesna. she brought her spawn with her.
And I know the answer to this question, but just because I'm not sure if everyone else does, who is that spawn?
He makes an insight check. You seem to not know who the spawn is, but pretending that you do know. Is that correct?
I wish that I could tell you that's correct. Honestly, I'm a little confused, but your diagram is very helpful. I think I'm more of a visual learner.
Kryn had a wife. As you can see,
yes.
exactly like that, kind of like splinter off, and you can see that Vivesna brought a child into that marriage.
Did you all know that, or am I the only one that's not aware of this? Okay, thank you. No, we didn't know that.
He's my cousin, so of course I knew.
Oh.
Also, I didn't realize until just this moment that most family trees are pictured upside down.
Mm-hmm. It's always bugged me. Always bugged me.
Wow. You just I just realized that.
David was like, "It's a tree," and I was like,
I just had like a
family
wheel
trees
spin
go
moment.
Like
Like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yes, there is a story of a woman whose family was a circle. No, I'm just kidding.
Not to say, unless you're Australia, and then your family tree looks like this.
Australia's still hot though. Still hot though. Good
Damn
genes.
right.
Where she hides the tail, nobody will know. Ever. So you will help then. Even if it means going against your own kin. And you get the sense of a question kind of lingering there. Like he doesn't seem to be able to quite pinpoint, be able to figure out what you two are.
Oh,
I mean,
The twins.
I mean, of course, yes, of course, I'll help. I absolutely go against my kin. Who doesn't do that?
Actually, our kin, if you will, wants us to help Brockton. That is why we're here.
Who has sent you? And his hand on this massive, like for him it's a spear, for you guys it's a pike, kind of grips and tightens. You hear the wood grain kind of tighten.
I don't know what the difference is.
Well, she is many things to many people, but to us she's our queen. Really?
What is her name? What is your mission? Why are you traveling with my stepson?
How old are you?
What
When
is
were
there's
you
people
born?
listening, please swallow.
Well, she's the Raven Queen.
No big deal, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Does it
honestly,
surprise you
that's
to
not
know?
surprising.
Does it surprise you to know that she wants us to help Brockton in this matter? Would you have thought her an adversary?
What I know of her is that she does nothing to suppress the evil that lurks within your world.
Evil's a matter of perspective, really.
It is. The revelry. And he kind of looks past all of you, where they're definitely eating a lot of stuff that is incredibly questionable, of not just quality, but also sourcing. Would be considered evil by the likes of Brock's kin as well. So I will take your point in stride. Nonetheless, what is it exactly that your Raven Queen has sent you to do? How and why are you to help Brockton in his mission?
You can take this one, Cece.
Thank you. We're to help him restore his family and figure this mystery out. exact words are a bit muddled. It was a while ago. 2 months? 2 months ago? Something like that.
But why? What does the
why? Well,
Raven Queen want?
here's the thing that you don't say when the Raven Queen gives you a mission. You don't say, why? I don't feel like it. I'm not feeling well. I'm bloated. I'm having a bad hair day. You just do not say any of that. You just say, yes, my queen. And so I'm afraid that I didn't ask that.
Make me a persuasion check.
With advantage? Because that was pretty badass.
Actually, with the opposite, but you roll high enough that Jernaris goes, "It is a sad thing that you did not grow up in the Feywild, because being bloated is a perfectly valid reason to not go on a hunt, or not to do anything. Why would you want to do a mission when you are bloated?"
That's fair.
That's not the point.
But
It's
that
not,
is
but
the
thank you for
point.
understanding. No, thank you. Honesty. Thank you. That is...
The
It's not the
Feywild is
point,
about
but thank you.
freedom, and the Shadowfell is about oppression. That is the difference between us.
Spinning wheel again. Never thought of it that way.
You keep doing that. What does that mean?
It's what happens when I think. Really deeply.
It is rather odd that you would give that away for people to see.
Can't be helped. Unfortunately, it's involuntary.
I see. You might want to get that checked out by a healer. I suggest that you find your sister, Brockton, and just discuss with her. And you can see him kind of like get sad for a moment as the realization that his own daughter is no longer here kind of strikes. I mean, she has made notes. Her room is located in the west wing of the house. If you travel there, maybe you can find what she was working on before she was kidnapped. If you want to peruse the room of your grandfather's as well, maybe there are notes, anything that might help. Take your time, recover your wounds, and in the morrow, let's try to bring your mother back. And with that, he kind of like lets the tree shrivel and wither. All the leaves are falling off of it, and it kind of just snaps over and becomes a dry twig as Jernaris kind of has all of these leaves flit around him, and he disappears.
Oh, well, good. I guess the answer on whether he could do anything for you guys was no. It was a really long-winded way of saying that.
I feel fine anyway. I don't need anybody's help. How are you feeling, Cece?
Awful, if I'm honest. Just awful. Just really awful. Thank you for asking. Really awful.
It's alright, it's alright. Dry your tears. Alright, well, where do we start? I'm excited.
I take it we have an arrangement then. You guys will free me, and we will give you back your Henry, and I will help you free your mother as well. There's no aggression.
Yes. We have a deal.
All right, we have a deal.
The doors on the south end kind of fly open as you suddenly see once again this towering figure, the chef that you had seen earlier, Bryn, kind of step in. In her hand, she's holding 2 mugs that seem to have some kind of weird bubbling liquid inside of them. Pale twins! Are they pale? You two! She kind of pushes one of the satyrs out of the way. Sets down these mugs in front of you. Gennaris ordered that you drink this. Drink it.
Oh, it
Turns
looks
around.
lovely.
Disappears. Door slams shut behind her.
Well,
You want to make a speech? It's probably the wrong time.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
the wrong
it
time.
definitely feels like the wrong time.
All right. I'll just clink his glass.
Bottoms up.
You look down, and it's this green, kind of translucent, bubbling liquid. You're just like, what the hell? As you kind of taste it, it kind of tastes like a tangy lime with like a carbonation to it. You're like, way too sweet. Entirely too
It's
sweet.
colorful.
However, as
Way
you
too
drink it,
colorful.
you are no longer poisoned.
You know, that drink wasn't that bad. We should make more of these.
Yes.
Or yeah. So good. And I feel fantastic.
I feel better as well. I even feel like my hair looks better. Which is a good thing.
It does. The shine. Wow.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
Um,
That
I
was the correct answer.
suppose we should head upstairs and investigate my sister's room and my grandfather's room, like Lord Gennaro's suggested. See what we can learn.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
As you guys head back upstairs, was there something else that you wanted to say, Brock? Sorry.
I was just gonna address the purple people eater in the room. So are we to call you Myriad then?
If you would like that, I think that would fit. I will also respond to Henry as well. I mean, he is still a part of me right now. I can still feel him.
is Marcus in there too? Is it anyone that's gone in a mirror, or just the people that you've eaten? But you technically haven't eaten Henry, so
I haven't eaten Henry. Think of it more as we are leeching off of him.
okay. So they have to stay in the mirror.
Or
Not
just
just-
be consumed by it.
Got it.
Wow.
That's
So
weird.
as long as you hold up your end and help us as you can to get home, we will make sure that you get home with us, but can't promise anything beyond that until we're back and have a chance to do some research into what it would take to set you free.
And that is perfectly fine. You guys are very smart in the ways of the magic, and I am confident that you will be able to free us from this place.
Well, to the West Wing then? I believe that's where we're supposed to go.
I'm
Or the Guest Wing? Or the West Wing? One of the two, it sounds the same.
Do you want to hit your sister's
guys-
room or your grandfather's room first?
Yeah, I'll roll a D100 just to make it easy on you guys.
But before we leave, I'm gonna go talk to. I don't remember what name I gave him. Hold on.
I think it was Philippos.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go talk to him real quick.
Ah! I saw that you were talking to the Lord.
Yeah, so we're probably leaving tomorrow.
Oh, on a hunt? Can I come?
Honestly,
How about you and I go? Go where you have never gone before. Just you and me. I can show you hunting grounds, groves that you have never seen, bubbling brooks that will make even the fairest maiden blush on beauty. What do you say?
I look back at the group.
Forget about them. He kind of like takes your
Just
chin and kind
back
of like
and
turns it back towards you. Forget about them. It is just you and me.
we're like we're really on a time crunch.
Ah, but time matters not within the Feywild, and I can hear your blood pumping through your veins, yearning for release from these constraints that you have been living under. You know you want to escape, my little pale orchid.
Hold that thought.
It's speechless.
What does Brett look
We're
like when
leaving-
he returns
we're-
back?
we're-
Bright red right around here.
He's definitely blushing and probably like. Have you ever like tried to play out a conversation in your head real quick where you're basically like mouthing the words to the conversation you're about to have? It probably looks like that. Um.
What's
We're-
the matter? Never read a book that told you what to do in this situation?
Oh well, no, I've read plenty of books.
Oh. Good night.
We're leaving tomorrow, right?
We're going to try to, I suppose for lack of a better word, fix my mother tomorrow.
You just put a sock on the door if you don't want us to get you in your room. It's pretty simple. Everyone knows that.
Right. No, I'm not worried about that. I just know that there's things we need to do right now, and to, take the brains away from the party would not be the best situation.
The brains won't be away from the party, darling.
But it's definitely not you.
That's fair. Fair.
Just tell him to meet you tonight. You can make it romantic. Say that you'll meet upon moonlight. I think in Neighbors there's at least a time change around here. Are you going to be able to focus at all? Are you going to be too busy thinking about getting back to him?
Hold that thought.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet little petal of mine. Are you
Look,
ready?
it's great. I trust and believe I would like to just drop everything right now.
Do it.
But it's kind of like a life or death scenario.
Everything is life or death. What if you die during this endeavor with your friends? Instead, you could be riding under the silvery light of the moon, naked, splashing into lakes never touched before by an elf.
And that could still happen. It just will have to happen later. Tonight.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage, Bryn.
I love this.
It'll build suspense.
Well, my sweet petal, come back, and if I'm still enjoying the festivities, I promise you the ride of a lifetime. But I promise nothing if I am not here, if another has caught my eye. Right free, my little petal. Flow in the wind, and shackle yourself from whatever the obligation is that you have towards these people. Meet you tonight. And he kind of just does this a little bit, kind of lifting up your chin, kind of getting close, and then letting go, and then starting to walk away from you.
I grab whatever the nearest drink is and just down it. I don't look at what's in it.
Might be a Constitution saving throw. Okay. As you come back towards the group, you guys start walking and talking, going upstairs. You don't know exactly where your supposed sister's room is, but you do know where your grandfather's room is. As you push past more of the revelry going on, you go to that ballroom, or like the upper, well, more the throne attendance room, where there are more people kind of like, oh, like putting on a play, like, I am the lord of this here castle, and they kind of going through that kind of mocking things, and they kind of ask you guys to join as you wave them off, and you find yourself once again before the door. This time it is open, and you can see inside of it. As you step into the room itself, it seems like there was indeed some kind of a depiction of that same glyph that once protected it, but the room itself is beautified. In fact, as you look around, a description is to follow. These chambers, meant for the master of the manor, are at once lordly and wild. A giant flower has been coaxed into the shape of a bed, with numerous smaller flowers nearby glowing to bathe in its light. Sitting chairs, once fit for nobility, now show the wear of decades of use. Coiling vines as thick around as a person's wrist or leg have grown here. Just to double check, you guys can all see the space too, right?
We can.
Okay,
I
cool.
can.
As I want to make sure that the online stuff can also follow us with that. There we go. As you look around, you can tell that someone has changed it. There's a primal comfort to these things here. It is almost like someone wanted to make it plush and livable for not a human, but something of the Feywild.
It's an upgrade.
Quite nice. Though, if memory serves, the rug was about over there.
Yes.
I agree. We agree.
All right.
Also, Alex, do you have inspiration for the creepiness of the purple person, Henry? God, I love it.
If you just, not be... Stay back. Thank you.
Want to go rip up the rug? Let's see what's under it.
As
suppose.
you push back two larger rugs, you now reveal underneath that a third that was missing of the teleportation circle in the material plane. Bryn, you become excited, giddy, as the alcohol starts to hit your veins, and you are very much poisoned by this drink that you chugged down below.
But are his inhibitions less as well?
Significantly.
Oh, okay. Then fine.
You know when you're like really, really, really fucked up, but you're in public, so you're like, nobody can know I'm fucked up, and you fully believe that no one can tell? That's Brand right now.
Be cool, man. Be cool. Yeah.
Walks up
For
to
sure.
a mirror, points at yourself.
You got this.
Gets pulled into the mirror.
No!
James.
Henry just goes,
I am Bryn now.
Tasty.
He's taking like real deep breaths, like.
Oh. All right. How do we want to copy this? Does everyone kind of realize what's going on at the moment? Is everyone kind of realizing that the other teleportation parts are probably going to be in other realms, or is that just me?
The other third's probably in the Shadowfell.
Almost certainly.
Yes.
We could also check the large mirror downstairs.
Yes, and see if there
Oh.
are more planar pearls
I'd be curious to check the library again, see if it's in working order or if there's any other interesting tomes, but that could wait.
Is there really somebody else in the room with us here, or is that just lingering?
Yeah, there does seem to be a druid who's just kind of like drunkenly like, excuse me, I see all you guys are going to have an orgy here. I mean, would you want a seventh? I make for pretty good lunch meat.
Oh, that just...
What does that mean?
Oh, have you ever had a loaf of bread and you cut it in half and then you just slap a meat on one half and then you put another piece of bread on top and you just go... And at that point, it's just too much for all of you guys.
I mean, I could eat.
Wow.
No. No.
What are you really eating?
No.
Oh, excuse me. Oh.
You're fine.
Runs around the corner and barks violently.
Would you please close the door? I don't think... Ugh.
Can I take out what's it? Planar bindings and portals, because I think I sketched out the circle that we saw in Darius's room.
You did.
Can I add this part to the part that I sketched out?
Yeah. This is going to take him easily another 10 minutes like it did down below in the other.
Also
material
drunk.
plane.
So
Now
I have to like squint really hard.
the years of practice are finally paying off. During this 10 minutes, as Burn is trying really hard to focus, what do the rest of you five do?
I'm gonna go get on this bed. I want to see if it's as comfy as it looks.
You plop upon it, and it is actually phenomenal. But I need you to roll me a D100, please.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, no. I should have known. How stupid.
Oops.
Hey.
You kind of like run over and as you go in there, suddenly there's just pollen that kind of shoots up into the air as it is almost beautiful. Like the golden light catches it just perfectly as you have what looks like just dust and a golden shower. Kind of like settling all God fucking damn it. Internet, just everything in modernity, you have ruined words. You have ruined every word. As it just kind of like floats about you in a beautiful, magnificent display. Thankfully, though, with a 95, you are not allergic to this pollen.
It's marvelous.
As Sebastian is getting a golden shower, what do the rest of you guys do?
Look away.
Enjoy.
Absolutely look away. I'm gonna check out these closets. Anything jump out at me? Literally or figuratively?
Yes, as you step into the room. It's a long closet, several reinforced chests against the wall, and several sets of oversized clothing of high quality and strange design, likely meant for beings larger than you, at the very least. Overhead shelves are packed with boxes, folded linens, assorted items, with a whole lot of it particularly overgrown with moss, which hangs down like an emerald curtain. Vines with pale blue flowers grow in from holes from the wood floor itself, adding a touch of color and life to the dark place. Having met him, you are actually relatively certain this might be laid out for Cherneros.
Nope. I will nope right out of there. I don't want to steal his stuff. Oops. I wonder if that means this is Mummy's closet. Oh.
As you look in there, you see a beautiful bath, redone and upgraded from what was within the material plane. Go ahead and make me an intelligence, either investigation or arcana check, your choice.
I am better at investigation.
There's something about this. It's supernatural. You think it might be the influence of this fey magic that you have now seen, but the air here is rarefied. The water purer than the most crystal clear mountain water you have ever seen. It's beautiful.
Seems a shame to bathe in there. Dirty that water.
As you step onto the thing, Brenna's kind of like, shoot!
Oh.
No, don't step on it.
I wasn't even paying attention to where I was walking. What are... It looks like there's a book here and something else.
As you pick it up, you open it up and you see incredibly vulgar depictions written or kind of like interspersed between passages and passages. As you kind of just scan the words across it, you kind of flip over, you see a lot of lewd drawings of an elf, a human with a set of glasses. You see this oversized mountain of a man with a great axe on his back. I mean, again, all of them incredibly lewd, depicting a lot of sexual fantasies and the like. And there seem to be kind of notes, kind of going into almost like smut, describing the scenes in detail.
I walk over and toss it to Sebastian. Here, some light reading you might like.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. I'll keep this one for later.
Sebastian, roll me a perception or investigation check. That's up to you.
Okay. Ooh.
What'd you get?
18.
It's interesting as you kind of like catch it and you kind of look in there. You see kind of inscribed on one of the inside covers, the Traveler's Little Book, kind of inscribed there. You're like, huh.
Oh my god. I get it. That's good.
Let me just cross out this little smut book right there. Hang on, just boop. Boop.
Just to be clear that it's taken. Yes.
Please, Sebastian, add smut book to your inventory. Light red room reading.
Absolutely.
Gets a little heavy.
Is that other thing just a design on the table, or is that something else actually on the table?
As you look upon the table, it's interesting. There seems to be what appears to be a basin with a beautiful design kind of carved into it. It's almost like somebody could fill it with water or something like that. But it's weird. It's almost like a sink without any spigot or anything like that. Or I should say faucet.
Or a couple?
Yes.
Stuff. I finished drawing the circle and now I'm just like, what's this? What's this?
If that thing's a basin, is there something I can use to scoop up some of the magic water stuff from the tub and pour it in there?
Do you have anything? Do you guys have anything?
Nope.
I mean, I have a water skin.
Oh, I
Celine.
mean, I have purple People's Henry's flasks, if you would like.
As
Or my
you,
flasks.
as you're left to your own devices and they're talking about their flasks, you suddenly see, or you kind of look around and you can't help but notice a couple beautiful marble statues. They seem to have been hand cut, and it's those, if you have seen those before, where it's like there's that kind of folded over fabric that almost looks like a woman has like just a drenched fine satin shirt that just clings to her form. It is perfectly expertly done. And Celine, you kind of step towards it, and as you look towards the face, it seems to be fey. You see long ears kind of coming off of it. You can see what seem to be a lot of vines and floral motifs kind of interspersed, but as you look upon the actual facial structure upon that, you 100% recognize Brockton's features in female form. And that is when it clicks. That must be depictions of his mother.
Doctor, have you noticed this? I'll just reference the statue.
As you see a scantily dressed statue depiction of your mother in a very advanced feification.
I had just kind of glossed over it, but now that you mention it, I really never wanted to picture her this way.
It's like the Feywild version of boudoir photos, but a statue.
When
What way do you
you're
mean?
bougie.
Okay, but how baller of a move would it be if you just get your partner just like a perfectly chiseled marble depiction of you to just put into your bedroom? That'd be power move right there.
Statue is like the D&D way of putting it. I feel like sure, yeah. A marble statue, yeah.
Nope.
Every partner.
Future foyer.
Yep.
It's just gonna be
Get
me.
out of here.
Uh-huh. Sure. Be great.
Hey guys, where do you never want to come over? As you finish the circle, you certainly can, empty out one of your water skins. What do you do? Or whatever.
Yeah, I want to fill it with water from the bathtub, I guess, for lack of a better word, and fill the basin on the table and see if anything happens.
Okay. As you walk over, filling the basin with the water, beautiful, crystal clear as it is, what would you say is heavy on your mind, preoccupying your heart, Brockton?
I mean, without a doubt, the biggest thing on his mind right now is what he's learned about his mother, and not only that she's been alive here this whole time, but now she's become some kind of fey dragon and is basically losing her mind. Yeah, that's weighing very heavily on him.
As you think about that, you see the dragon's wings soar, reflected within this basin of water. As you get a DM inspiration, you see the dragon soaking up the autumn rays from the sun baking down upon it, and you can see the satisfied smile dancing across this reptilian face as you watch your draconic version of your mother fly across the treetops, soaring for miles, hunting, surrounding the manor.
Stepdad's a peeping Tom.
He would explain
Mind your business.
the bedroom.
No, that was Grandpa. Anyway,
that's right. It runs in the family, must be.
To clarify that one, this you did not see in the normal manner, so you're pretty sure that either Trineros or your mother installed this basin.
Oh, I'm just, Grandpa was the one who had the whole red room problem.
Brockton,
Yeah, the red
make
room.
me a perception check.
Perception.
Oh.
You're kind of like talking to them as you're distracted, and suddenly, Bryn, you're like, Brock, as you point towards, and it seems like the dragon has noticed that they were being scryed upon, flew around with the mouth open. Brockton, you suddenly get the sense that this dragon will swallow whatever magical implement is watching her. As you have the split second to try to maybe take this thought and refocus it somewhere else.
Try to focus on my sister.
You focus on your sister as the image changes away, and suddenly the crystal clear, beautiful water becomes brackish, dark, and barely gives off any kind of reflection. You can see it's almost as if somebody had dumped a vial of ink into it, and you can watch barely as you see the figure of your sister hang. Now, which sister did you focus on, Brock?
Bicilla.
You see
The only one I've actually met.
of your sister hang like a scarecrow, almost absorbed into the bark, black as it is, of a massive tree. You can see vines, sickly, squelching, kind of like almost pulsing around her desiccated body. You can see her head hangs to the side, lolling, her mouth is open, and her eyes are dead, long having mummified. And as you seem to kind of look around, you can see dozens of others making up the outside of the tree, part of the bark itself.
That's horrible. It's not what I wanted to see.
As you suddenly notice a small, not quite green, maybe yellowish on the outsides, on the very perimeters of it, leaf flow and fall through the vision. And another one, half brown, but still mostly green. And then you hear a...
Can I...
Do you speak Sylvan by chance?
Negative. I speak Druidic now, apparently.
Yeah, Druidic is
something
more...
we all hear?
Yeah.
I know.
Marcus, do you speak Sylvan?
I do.
Oh, thank
Marcus.
God I don't.
Suddenly... Marcus, suddenly you hear a... Father! Coming from the scrying pool.
Not father, but family. Give it away.
So... It's weird.
Marcus is saying that in Sylvan too, just in case.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
explain later.
Father! Father! I'm here, Father! Father, are you there? Who are you?
Looks over at Brockton. They're asking for father. I think it's your sister. Do you want to respond? Do you?
Tell it's Brockton.
Brockton. You kind of hear with a kind of stuttering accent. Sedia. And you hear like a lulling. Sedia. Marcus, you hear a focus on me, focus on Sedia, focus on me.
Focus on her. It's on Sadia.
Sadia? Okay.
And as you
Focus on Sadia.
try to think on that, you suddenly feel a connection. The rest of you guys see a glow come into Brockton's eyes as they shine green, as you seem to touch the sides of the table. There's a glowing green energy. Brockton, I need you to make me a wisdom check.
Okay. Wisdom check. Hey, that's a 21.
You suddenly feel something struggle against your attempt to try to shift the focus. It's almost like this arcane eye that you're shifting over is being held back, but as you swivel, almost like a camera slightly changing its angle, you look upwards and you can see higher up on the tree what appears to be a nymph with beautiful deep brown bark-like skin, with what seems to be a dress made out of leaves, hair that actually is vines with roses growing in different spots, look back at you. She smiles, and I'll give you guys just a little bit of that depiction as she seems to kind of like smile back. You look upon her as her green eyes meet yours. You can see that her body seems to have what looks like black vines and tendrils starting to pierce into her bark-like skin. You see parts of her self seemingly starting to fall out. Please, please, help me. And with that, we're going to go on a quick break. Alrighty, y'all, we'll take a quick 5-minute break. We'll see you guys here very shortly. And we are back. Now, right before the break, the group had investigated the Fey Manor version of the Room of Darius, which apparently became the mother of the Room of Elsius, the mother to Brockton. Brockton investigated what looked like some kind of a basin, poured a lot of the clear water that was within the bath that seemed to have almost like a supernatural magical note to it, and realized that he could divine through it. As he focused upon his human sister, he realized that her desiccated corpse was hung in a tree, fused into the bark of some kind of like dark, shadowy, massive, towering oak, perhaps. But then little flotsam of leaves flew through the vision. And as Marcus, you were able to translate, someone called out Father in Sylvan. You shifted your vision to your other sister, Brockton, who apparently is in the earlier stages of the same thing that befell your earthly sister. As you look upon her pleading face, in Sylvan she calls out, "Help me! Help me!" As you see Sadia's tears starting to roll down her bark-like brown skin. Bryn, go to make me an Arcana check.
You got it.
That swig of alcohol, though,
Damn alcohol.
would have not made a difference. You kind of hiccup to yourself, and it's weird. You have never seen a divination font with a power like this before. It is outstanding. This could be useful. Marcus, Brockton, what do you guys say? Or if anyone else speaks Sylvan.
Ask her where she is.
Where are you?
Kryn, the shadow fell. I tried to reach out. I tried to reason with them. But they caught me. They're sacrificing me, please. And she just kind of starts to, like, softly sob.
Tell her we'll find her father. I want to, like, run to the nearest window and just, like, holler out for him, hoping that he can hear.
All right, Brock, you run. As you open one of the windows, you shout out, "Generos!" Marcus, as you were over there kind of translating, with concern you watch as the water becomes murkier and murkier, darker and darker.
If we're going to do something, we best do it now.
As suddenly there's a flurry of flower petals kind of shooting out. "What? You called my name." Marcus, you watch as the water in it now is completely dark, blackened. It's almost like a swamp, like bubbles starting to bubble up and kind of splashing over it. Gennaro seems to kind of like see your concerned gaze, Brockton. "What is happening?"
Your scrying bowl, we found Sadea. She's
"Where is she?"
being sacrificed in the Shadowfell.
"No." And he kind of steps to the side as... And it seems like the dark sludge dries out, solidifies, and starts to expand. As suddenly there's a crack on the side of the bowl, and another one. And you hear a heart-sinking destruction of the sink itself. She's like, "No! No!" He like rips the entire font out of the wall, throws it against another. "Kryn!" He kind of just starts to pace through the room, his hoofed feet shaking the ground as he paces back and forth.
She was being absorbed into some kind of a tree. It looked like Bicilla had already been sacrificed and she was dead on the same tree. Do you know where that might be? Can we get to her in time?
It is in the Shadowfell. It is with your uncle.
It's the same tree, just the Shadowfell representation, isn't it? The large one here on the property.
That was Adea's guess, yes.
She said she went to them to try and talk peace, but they're sacrificing her now. Is there a way we can get...
Sorry, I interrupted you, Brock. You go.
Just was trying to figure out if there's a way we can get to her.
And what is the point of all this sacrifice? Just out of curiosity, why would he want to sacrifice your sister? Did she have special abilities?
And starts to head towards you, Sebastian. It is kind of towering, tall above you. Because the plane from which you hail
is lovely,
corrupts
yes.
those that live upon it, consuming the life of others. So many a creature from the shadow exists in the first place.
Aww.
You suddenly see as some of the leaves on the mantle that he's wearing are starting to turn red. The veining inside of it kind of going yellow. His eyes, his irises themselves starting to turn red as well. His hair.
Alright, let's calm down.
Everyone chill out.
Dramatic, please.
Dramatic, this is my daughter.
And I've agreed to help to get her back. I can't really help where I'm from. Any more than you can.
He turns towards you, Brockton. The only way to get there is through the gate. Sadea spoke of it before. Whatever Kryn does on the other side, he prevents us from creating passages from the Feywild into the Shadowfell. Though Elsieth was never capable of protecting us from intrusion. In order for you to be able to get back, you will have to defeat whatever is guarding the rift.
Will these get us through the gate? And I'll pull out the Shadowfell pearl that I have.
No, but Sadea, she worked on stay here, and he kind of shoots into 1,000 leaves for a second. Comes back. She was researching these. And he holds out what appear to be orange crystals that seem to gleam. It's almost like a fairy energy that kind of goes about it. And they seem indeed to be almost like an opposite set to the dark crystals that seem to be suffused with shadow magic.
I don't know what to do with these.
Sadea said that they were important for your ability to cross safely. She was trying to save your mother, Brockton. But she knew that something bound the material, the shadow, and our plane together in a way that is unnatural, arcane in nature. And And he just holds out these crystals for you.
I'll take. Thank you. I don't want to abandon Mother. Take this, and I pull out the music box. Take this to her. It was her favorite song. See what you can do with this, and we'll go after Sadia.
I thank you.
Also, could you tell Philippos that we're gonna have to rain check? Unfortunately, this is probably gonna take longer than I thought it was.
Marcus is just absolutely gonna elbow Brandon. Now's not the time.
I thank you.
You think?
He named the puppy. That's a bad sign.
Prepare yourselves. I will send you back to the material plane. And as he kind of like starts to spin his spear back and forth, you suddenly see all the leaves and the flowers starting to react as it starts to gather around you. Suddenly, though, the leaves and flowers seem to blacken, wither, and then die. As he's like, What is this? All of them kind of shoot outwards. And all of you just hear what sounds like a wicked seemingly echoing from everywhere and nowhere.
No. Didn't like that.
Where are you, you coward? Show yourself! And that is when you hear a titanic cry of pain escaping from a draconic throat. That sounds like the ripping and tearing of treetops. You see Chernara's eyes go wide as he just sprints and turns into leaves and disappears.
Could we tell direction?
From northward, from the same direction that the Dreaming Grove, where you had your conversation with Chernara's, was.
Gotta go.
He teleported us there before, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I should theoretically still be able to find my way there just from knowing the grounds on the
You know, there's the maze that you'll have to cut through that will delay you somewhat, but you can make it there.
Is this a window here?
Mm-hmm.
Is it open or is it closed?
It is open. Brockton opened it and shouted.
Yeah, okay.
What if we look northward? Do we see anything happening?
Make me a perception check as you kind of push past Celine and look out the window.
17.
As that happens, as Chernara's kind of disappears, you look northward, Sebastian, and you do indeed see what appears to be the end of a dragon crashing into treetops. The beautiful, multi-hued wings that Elsieth now carries in her draconic form.
Oof. I'm gonna grab Brockton and just yank him to the window. Is that your mother?
Yes.
Well, we better go help her. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Is she, can we see what's happening to her?
From the angle that you're at, not too well. She's now crashed into the trees, it seems.
Quickly, let's go.
Alrighty.
Yep.
As you guys start heading towards the Dreaming Grove, you rush northward out of the doors, going past hobgoblin guards who are also concerned, starting to rush towards that area. As you guys do, suddenly everything seems to become supernaturally dark. As the darkness takes in Suddenly you hear cries of pain and fighting. Weapons clashing against weapons, shields and armor. As you guys are starting to twist through, Brockton, you understand that you will need to lead your group through this area in order to be able to get them there safely. For suddenly, shadows themselves are starting to leap from hedges, from the walls, and starting to attack creatures. Shadows made incarnate. Go ahead and make me a stealth check as you lead the group through.
Like most rogues, I'm not very good at this.
It would have been great if this had happened the next day.
You know what? Can I use my inspiration to reroll that?
You sure can.
A little bit better.
Yeah. Double digits.
Alrighty. As you rush through, you try to pull them to the side as shadows are just ripping open the chests of hobgoblin guards. As you hear the death and destruction all around you, it is just mayhem about. As you guys are moving incredibly slowly, trying to make sure that you guys don't run into someone that might try to kill you. But ultimately, you do arrive at the location where you see the dragon, your mother, severely injured. Though, as you guys are going forward, you realize that only a few of you can see. Does one of you guys cast the light spell?
No. I have it. Do I have it? Yeah. Yes, of course I do.
I'll pop it up. Yeah. Also for
Yeah.
for Marcus.
Same time.
would be my return.
Twin powers unite.
Twin power. All right, as you
I'll make it
guys,
just follow Marcus. Sorry.
you good. As you guys once more move in, I gotta set some stuff up.
But I feel like instead of light, it's like almost shadow. It's like the inverse, you know?
Yes.
Blacklight?
No.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I don't know. It's not normal light.
Blacklight, yeah.
Blacklight in the
don't know if I want
Feywild.
black light
Ooh.
anywhere.
Yeah.
It could be cool, and also
Just don't look at the ground or any of the couches. It's
Just
fine.
don't look at
not
any
normal light.
surface,
Just say that.
really, at all.
Yeah, let's
It's
not use
perfectly
that when
normal
we get
to
back
us.
to where the
Perfectly
revelry's
to us.
happening.
Why
Yeah,
not?
don't look at the surface. Don't look at people, honestly.
look at
Just
that
don't look
book.
at anything.
Does it make everything black and white?
I just
Like,
look,
it's
I
like,
just look at
they
my
could be like the
book.
most colorful thing ever, like highlighter yellow, and it's like, oh, thank God that's better.
It's almost like brighter than the light spell because everything is reflecting because it's a black light.
Oh my god.
Like,
Is
it's the
Mom's room
opposite
brighter
of.
room?
Yeah.
So we all take psychic damage from using the black light. Is that what
We're all
trying to say here?
blinded. We're
Not
all
all of
blinded
us.
from the black light.
The color is. My God. Oh, thank God that's better. Oof.
Marcus, what's your favorite
Um,
color?
red.
I'll turn it red.
Oh my gosh.
Red.
As
Mm.
at some point as we're making this mad scramble, I'm gonna, as I see availability, scoop up a handful of pebbles. I'm sure there's some
Sounds good.
around here somewhere.
All right, just getting stuff adjusted with the fail on the stealth check as a consequence. Things are going to be a little bit more dire.
Yeah.
As you
Man,
guys
so
push,
glad we totally got to sleep and prepare our new spells.
At least you got a drink in.
as you all push into the grove, you see an epic scene before you. A severely injured dragon, bleeding, as there seem to be amalgamations of shadowy energy, spectral and evil, flitting about. As Chineros heavily leans upon this great spear of his, he is squaring off against a person, a creature, It appears to be an old man, having a bunch of weird bones and other things tied into his beard. There seem to be spectral crows that sit upon the large, oversized scythe that he carries that is bound together by decaying leather straps. He almost looks like an old grandfather going out to reap the grain. But as he sees you all coming, did you get yourself some backup now, Cherneros? This is still too late. It is still over. It is never over. Keep your hands off my love. I will kill you, Scorncrow. We will see about that. And you see Scorncrow kind of nod with his head towards a figure on the left side of your mother's head. You recognize familiar armor from one of the adventurers that you had seen at the tavern. Apparently, you look upon them, and there's just points of red light where their eyes should be shining through. You can see that their skin is pale and sallow. Something changed. Something altered this man. And with that, we're going to be rolling some initiative.
God. Always rolling so low.
Poor Marcus. And Celine. Oh, and Brockton.
Not ready for combat. He's never ready.
You're never
He's
ready for
squishy.
combat. Combat
Nobody's
is
cast
never
mage
ready for
armor.
you. Thankfully, you do still
So
have
squishy.
mage armor active, so
Oh.
there is that. But Bryn is going into this drunk as fuck, which is
Oh.
fantastic.
Yeah, I am. I got
Alrighty.
no spells.
That brings us to
Just kidding.
Scorncrow's
I have
turn,
a couple left.
who seems to be extremely quick on their feet. You also can tell as they move forward that something is not quite right about them. Because one of the consequences of
That's an understatement.
as they seem to be supernaturally fast. Bryn, go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
I'm drunk.
There's something about him. There's a magical nature. As he kind of moves forward, he kind of like jumps up already and faster than you can follow this oversized scythe that this old grandfather should have no right swinging as quickly as he can. That is going to be something that is going to look terrifying. Oh god. Alright, con saving throw. Alrighty. As Cherneros takes a massive swing. You see the wound itself becomes necrotic. The blood that tries to gush out immediately seems to turn into a sludge. And there seems to be almost like this necrosis kind of spreading and pushing into the wound as Scorncrow heals up in the process. So the wound that apparently Cherneros had inflicted upon him before he even arrived there is now healed up. And his second swing. Oh fuck, that's a critical.
R.I.P. to this man.
As Cherneros just drops to a knee as black sludge that was once blood starts to kind of drop down. Kryn sends his regards. With that, Henry, it is your turn.
Yes, I guess Henry would first go into a purpley rage.
Purple Rage.
Purple rage. Usability. Purple
But
rage.
what would Myriad do? That's the real question.
That is what Myriad would do, yes. It's purple rage. And he saw that guy take out this guy like pretty quickly. So, this guy over here looks, like a threat, and he's kind of near Celine, so he will run towards that one instead. And then just swing.
You might want to.
Like that
I'm just gonna, move yourself back maybe just so we have an easier time targeting the other things. Yay!
There you go.
Perfect.
And swing away. And can I don't know how to toggle Great Weapon Master or Reckless in this new UI.
Try using the
Yes, there is-
feature. See if that does it.
I don't see
On your character sheet. I apologize. Or it should be under features with your, let me see if I can.
We can play with it afterwards too, so I can
I
just.
mean,
On the battle
Immediate
bar,
effects
it's the
is still
guy.
there, right?
It's the guy doing this.
Yeah. I see Great Weapon Master attack on there, so I'll try it.
Here,
but I don't see Reckless
I'll
in
do
there.
this. I'll talk about it. You're gonna do Reckless too, or just Great Weapon?
Reckless and Great Weapon, yeah.
Alrighty, go for it.
Alright. Boom.
Oh.
Oof,
Oh,
with
yeah, that is
advantage. As
the
you strike
dice are
down.
not our friend.
That is a miss, my friend.
And he will try again.
On
Much
the
better.
second swing, however, it is going to hit as your normal axe cuts down into the shadowy material that is this creature, doing significantly less damage than you would have liked it to.
He will take note of that for next time then. And that will be the end of his turn.
Alrighty, with that brings us to Sebastian. What would you like to do?
Okay, so Sebastian is going to turn around and he's going to grab the 2 chicken of the woods mushrooms that are hanging out there on the inside of the tree, and he's going to fling them like 2 fans. Eldritch Blast.
Hang on, actually.
On...
There is something to that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. If you would, roll me a
You thought
d20.
you were just adding flavor.
Ooh, D20. Okay.
Okay. As you touch these odd-looking massive mushrooms, there's a tingling sensation upon your skin.
Ooh.
But it's
Oh,
fine.
tingle,
It just
tingle.
tingles for a second as you sent them flying.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And I'll send them flying at what's their name? This main baddie. That's
Scorn
fighting with
Crow.
Daddy. Scorn Crow. Yes.
Sadie.
Daddy. And then are you still doing it, Alex? Just out of curiosity.
I tried, but it didn't work.
Oh, I know why. Sorry. We're trying something slightly different, and let me switch that around to make it easier on you.
Dance break.
All right, Alex, you are ready.
Oh,
Oh, look at that!
19.
You suddenly
For the first
see
one.
as this guy swings the scythe around and just cuts clean through the mushroom as it flies to both sides. Parried it.
Does it make any like tingle dust come out or something?
It just turns black.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll send the second one.
As the second one
Well,
flies by.
lovely. All right, and I'll. Hold on, let me just leave my bonus action. As a bone. Nope, actually, I'm gonna hang on to that. That is it for me. I'll just stand there like. That's it.
Alrighty, sounds good. With that, you guys see as this nightly creature, this person that it doesn't really seem like a person anymore, is going to raise their weapon and try to swing down upon Silvaria, aka Elsieth's head. You see the weapon that they're wielding appears to be, shadowy in nature. Both of the twins, go ahead and make me a history check with advantage.
Ooh, I'd love to. Ooh.
Celine, you have seen these shadowy weapons before. You know that they are incredibly capable of cutting through a lot of things, and you're pretty sure that they are very closely related to your own hexblade capabilities. But Sebastian, you see the shadowy armor upon this figure, the shadowy blade, the shadowy shield, and you realize this is just made out of pure shadow stuff. You wonder whether any of this will even remain if you were to defeat this thing, or just return directly back to the shadowy realm. Is able to inflict some damage upon Silvaria. That ends it there. Bryn, that is your turn.
Okay. Bryn is gonna rifle around through his backpack real quick and pull out a gilded skull that he's shown no one that he's had this entire time. And just say, alright, I guess now's as good a time as any. And he'll cast, I guess, with my 4th level slot, so 4th level prepared. Summon Undead.
Finally.
Which undead are you summoning, and what does it look like?
So he does that to be or not to be with the skull and opens its mouth, and it just starts billowing black smoke. I'm not gonna cast it by us though. 90.
What's the HP? What level are you casting at? I think it's 5 times the spell level that you're casting, creating it at.
It is 4th level, so it would be 40 health, because it's 30 plus 10 for each slot above 3rd level.
Okay.
So 40 total. And he would have 15 AC instead of 14. It affects the damage too, but we can deal with that later.
All right. Use your real dice for that too. So 40 damage, 40 HP, you said?
Yeah.
Awesome. And where do you want it to be?
I'm gonna put him between the 2 guys right here.
Alrighty. As you cast this creature forth, kind of looking about, death finally seemingly escaping from the skull itself. Anything else as a bonus action, or is that it?
I don't think there's really any.
Do you want to move before the undead spirit does its thing? I should ask.
Yeah, I'll move just because I don't know what these guys can do, and if it's a bad idea for us to be all clumped together. I'll move over here. That'll
Alrighty.
be it.
And what do you command your undead spirit to do?
I think he gets 2 attacks since I casted it for
Yes.
attack.
It's half the spell level.
Spell's level. So I'll have him just attack both of those guys. He'll start with this guy.
All right. You said the one on the left there?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll me d20 plus 8. That should be your spell attack. I'll give you the permission for the undead spirit right here, so you should be able
My
to
spell attack is +9 because of my
that's
grimoire
right.
that I have.
Mhm. I apologize. Which one did you make again? The putrid, the skeletal, or the ghostly?
Ghostly.
Okay. Alrighty. As he reaches out to try to touch this creature, as the necrosis tries to touch, you realize that the necrotic damage has absolutely no effect against it. However, the creature does need to make a... It's not immune to being frightened, so it is going to make that, and it's against your spell save DC, I believe, right?
Yeah, which is 17.
As with that, the wraith kind of gets touched by that, and maybe there's like a little bit of struggle of your arcane energy against the wraiths there, as the creature becomes frightened. Well done.
And he would do the same thing to the other guy, the knightly guy that attacked Brock's mom.
Hurt.
I'll roll, even though he's probably immune to it too.
Ooh, nice. A 27 is a hit. Don't worry about damage. Also immune to necrotic. However, it seems like this undead knight is immune to being frightened as well, unlike the wraith. Which...
If anything, I'm okay with it. It puts another body on the field, and it's also immune to necrotic damage, so it might be able to just hold its own for a while.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, cool. Is that... I believe because at that point, it is no longer...
Yeah, it acts after me. So.
Yeah. Alrighty, you see Silvaria, who seems to be in a fugue state. Brockton, actually, go ahead and roll me a d20.
15.
Her eyes scan about, and you can see as the large draconic orbs seem to focus upon you, her eyes seem to go wider, focus in on you, and a little tear seems to almost kind of gather. Brockton, is that you?
Mother.
My son! Oh, help me! And she kind of seems to grasp at her head. But as she does that, she is going to... Let me double check something here. Should work. She kind of claws herself forward. Brockton! As Scorn Crow kind of puts the scythe up against her throat. No! She tries to reach past, and as she does, all right, she can reach you. She is going to, well, actually, she's going to target herself, target Generos, and target you, Brockton, with a bless.
Ooh.
Alrighty. That, however, ends her turn. Alright, that brings us to this wraith, who is going to be very scared. So, and I'm going to check on... This frightened is different, right? This is not the one where they have to run away.
I think it's just the... No, it's just the you can't move and you take disadvantage.
Which is still, you know, good enough. Like, it cannot... Well, actually, let me see here. It can try to reach towards you as it kind of flies towards you. Kind of keeping level with it and then
I see what you're saying.
Kind of flying away from it and towards you.
Well, it still has to attack with disadvantage.
It absolutely does. Already trying to hit you. That is going to be a miss. Alrighty, as it tries to strike at you, you kind of like use the golden skull that very much looks like the undead spirits, and it's like you're kind of going away from it. That is going to be a miss for its turn. Generos kind of rights himself to his full height. You should not have come here. You're going to pay for this. And it's going to do...
Oh, he's not frightened anymore, by the way. It ends at the end of the target's turn.
Perfect.
I was just double checking that.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Gennaros kind of grasps suddenly in midair as what seems to be a tree kind of very quickly shoots out of the ground, but you realize that it's actually the hilt of a weapon as the blade kind of is revealed to be almost like this hardened obsidian. As he throws this blade your direction, Henry, you kind of like catch it. And as you look upon it, you can tell that this magical weapon could certainly be able to go past the damage that this creature does. Do you actually accept and grasp the weapon?
Yes, the Myriad will accept.
All right. You now have this weapon. You're not attuned to it, but it is a beautiful, beautiful weapon. Then he's going to shift back towards his opponent as he goes toward, or kind of looks towards Solaria. Please, run, my love. And is going to attempt to attack. Ooh, that is going to absolutely... Oh. Hang on, I gotta double check something here.
He already said. No takesies backsies.
No, there was accidentally a double bless effect. So he rolled 2d4s. It's like, damn, those are high result. Oh, that's why. It's a hit regardless. Alrighty, Scorncrow is going to make a strength saving throw and is pushed back 10 feet. Gennaros hobbles after him and is going to strike again. And pushed another 10 feet back. Or actually, you know what? Hero positioned himself in a way where he pushes him down towards you guys. Taking another 9 points of piercing damage and maintains concentration. With that brings us to the end of Gennaros' turn. This wraith on the northeastern side is going to fly downwards and attempt to strike at Solaria. And that is going to be a hit. She takes more necrotic damage. Has to make a concentration check, maintains concentration on the bless. Alright, the wraith that is next to you, Myriad, is going to reach out, attempts to attack you with advantage, and that is going to be a miss. Ooh, that was close. Brockton, it is your turn.
I've been debating what to do this whole time, and I still don't know. Alright, I feel like I have to do this. I'm gonna... How do I want to do this? So Brock is still discovering his newfound Fey magic, if you will. But he sees Gennaros he sees that Gennaros is in bad shape, and so he just yells out, Gennaros! He doesn't really know what to say, but he ends up throwing a healing word at him.
Oh, nice.
Which isn't much.
It's a little bit of something, something.
It's a little bit of something, something. And, but that then makes my attacks either have to be... Yeah, I guess I'll do it this way. I'll run over here to try and bail out Bryn. Swing with my fancy little silver letter up there. Hopefully that.
A 16. Yes.
Oh, I was like, why were there 2d4s? That's right, I'm blessed. The other one's damage.
Yeah. As you strike, a 16 is going to be a hit. Go to roll sneak attack.
Whoa.
Average.
Alrighty, for 12 points of damage. Hey, that's pretty nice.
I'll take it. And that's all I got for this round.
Alrighty. Celine, it is your turn.
As this all starts happening, Celine looks, it's like order of operations, right? Like she looks at her twin. He looks pretty healthy. I love you. She's gonna take off in the direction of Henry. Stop right before she gets to him. He's much bigger than her, so she's gonna reach kind of up to him. I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good.
Okay.
On Henry.
This is sort of like, she doesn't even really know she can do this. This is not in her wheelhouse. She just like, she's taking care of the people she loves. Number one, her brother. He's okay. He's a badass. He's got this. Like, number two, she was thinking about this the whole time, right? Like, she's been thinking about this since the moment he became a purple people. This isn't right. This isn't where he belongs to be. So, like, she's, like, reaching up and touching him, and, like, dark, shadowy, like, tendrils kind of come out of her and, like, wrap around him a little bit as she casts it.
Alrighty. As you now have protection from evil and good upon you.
Right. And he's surrounded by two fuckers. So, she's gonna, like, sort of turn it back to him and just, like, ready for another spell. And that's the end of my turn.
Alrighty. Marcus.
Okay. Marcus is gonna see kind of just the state of the family, and yell out that we have to protect them, and then realize he's out of bardic inspirations.
Whoops.
And I think in this case, there's like a bit of a, you're okay with what I said to you, David. Is the reason why. Marcus begins to panic a bit, seeing his friend's family, his mother call out for him, for Brockton's mother calling out for Brockton, and like seeing this, he begins to change, the skin becoming blue, as it then becomes darker colored and far hairier as he casts polymorph. And thinks back at a time learning about the Dimitrikov family, in which the head, or at least his great-great-grandfather, his Alabaster Dimitrikov, who Marcus gets his name from, had gone on an exotic hunt once, and the Dimitrikov family has one of these giant stuffed versions of a giant ape. And, yeah.
I love it. So
We're gonna
unexpected, too.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember how much it can move.
Should say on the sheet. So if you double click on it now,
Oh,
it has 40
beautiful.
feet.
Love that.
40 feet.
Thank you. Okay, cool. We are gonna move as much as we can. I
That's
can't tell if I can.
An attack of opportunity. You do see that.
Oh, that's.
Nah, he doesn't have a reaction.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I apologize.
And you've got a million hit points.
It's all
So,
good. It's not like you're
good to move in that
not
area?
juggling a crap ton of stuff or something, David. No worries.
Yeah, you're good.
No, that's why I love these little icons. It's awesome.
I just want to double check because I don't know what's in her space and what's not.
You can
Like,
you can go there. You guys can kind of overlap space a little bit.
Cool beans. And I believe since that was my action to cast, I don't get to attack the turn.
Correct.
So that'll do it. Just try to look menacingly.
I love because of the polymorph. Your entire name on the initiative tracker is now Marcus Alabaster Dimitrikov parentheses giant ape. 7,000 letters. Alrighty, cool. With that brings us back up top to the initiative, and I forgot something with him to do last time because this guy happens to be hasted. As he steps over and looks towards Generos and says, "Your time as Lord is over, and Kryn will ascend. You will die." And he is going to keep swinging at Generos. As with that,
Tells me it was 6 to 20 seconds.
Generos tries to bring up the spear in time, kind of holds it back as the scythe pierces through Generos' heart. As the blood starts to kind of drop down, Generos drops to a knee. He pushes him down. Generos looks over towards you, Brockton. "Save her. Save her!"
Now we're stuck here.
Now you. As he swivels over towards you, Henry.
It's fine.
First swing. As he strikes at you, go to make me a Constitution saving throw, my friend.
You shouldn't have advantage because of the protection from good and evil, right? So just normal?
Correct. Still a hit.
Oh, damn. I tried.
Alrighty. You feel this weapon sapping away your life force. As it strikes into you, you also get the sense that there's something that is now coursing through your blood that you didn't put there, and an anger seems to overcome you. As you take a combined 6 points of slashing as well as another points of necrotic damage. Of course, reduced.
How many points of necrotic?
2. Just 2.
Oh, okay.
I thought you said 20. I was like, oh my
Yeah, I was like, oh fuck.
God. I was like, I'm dead.
Hang on 1 second. Gotta make sure that is toggled on correctly. Alrighty. As with that, another swing. Strikes again. Another hit. As with that, make me another Constitution saving throw, please. Alright. Anything before I declare?
Yeah, I have an inspiration, so I will use it.
Okay.
Click the inspiration and click the save. Oh wow! It's still
Sometimes
7.
it's meant to be, I
7.
guess.
Yeah.
Your hit point maximum is also reduced by 3 necrotic damage.
Oh,
Alright.
so he saved against the first one?
He did save against the first one. With a 17. Alrighty, that brings us to your turn, Myriad.
All right, Myriad will. First thing he's gonna do is like tap the blade on his on his head just so it will ignite since he is raging with fire. And then he really doesn't like this guy that basically just poisoned him, and he's not feeling great. So he is going to try and recklessly swing at this guy and destroy him.
All right, go for it.
So I should be able to click that and.
As you strike down with this weapon, which feels perfectly made, perfectly balanced, you see, again, moving faster than humanly possible, Scorncrow kind of moves to the side as you kick up a bunch of dirt and vines and stuff like that, but other than that, it is an absolute miss.
Alright, I will steady myself and take off Great Weapon Master for this next one. So that should have done it, and swing again.
Wow.
Another
Okay, alright.
miss. And you kind of like see the faces of the mirror kind of cycling through Henry's visage as the anger starts to overcome. No dice.
I'm just, he's just like focused on this guy now, just like, I need to kill you, because, he's just blaming him for the house right now. Thinks he is the house.
Alrighty.
And that will be it.
Sebastian, what would you like to do?
All right. Sebastian's gonna run up to his sister just as she's running away from me, and I'm just gonna get right next to her. And at the tail end of her casting her spell on Henry, I'm gonna grab her hand, to get her attention, and I'm gonna say, "We need to get out of range." And I'm gonna cast Fly on both of us, and there's gonna be like a tornado of smoke around us, and whenever it clears, we're both gonna have these big, beautiful, smoky black wings. And then I'm gonna let go of your hand, and I'm gonna take to the sky with my. I think I can still go 30 feet because it's 60 feet of flying movement now.
So the way that I'll say is because you've moved a third of it, you have 40 feet of fly movement left.
Cool. All right. So yeah, I'll still take to the air 30 feet up and sort of hover, surveying the field. And that will be the end of my turn.
Alrighty, give me a second. I'll make sure that Fly is on Celine too. So one thing about Fly is a thing that is often forgotten. So thankfully, unlike Pathfinder or 3.5, you don't have to make fly checks, but you have to continuously keep moving unless you have hovers.
Yep.
So as long as you keep zooming around, you're good to go. All right, cool. With that brings us to my knight. Seeing this massive thing just appear next to him, seeing the undead spirit kind of ineffectually attacking, he is going to target instead. Utter some kind of weird word as suddenly more shadow builds around him. You can see his blade seems to be now guided with this. And that is going to be a hit with the first swing for 10 points of slashing damage. Hit on the second swing for another 12 points of slashing damage. Because you're concentrating, I should have actually made you do that after the first swing. I apologize. Marcus, go ahead and make me a constitution saving throw using the ape's statistics. The DC for both is going to be 10, and then a second one.
Do you have inspiration?
I don't think I do. At least I don't have it marked on my character sheet.
Can I give Marcus my inspiration?
You sure can.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll do that. It's going to be more useful to keep an ape on the field than anything I can do.
Alrighty, with that, the ape stays on the field. Alright, Bryn, it is your turn.
Okay. I've been thinking about this since the end of my last turn. I am a necromancer, so pretty much everything I could do does not do shit in this situation. So I will plant my feet where I'm at and hope it doesn't end poorly for me, and I will look towards Purple Henry and I will say, "This does not mean that I trust you," and I am going to cast Dispel Magic on the Scorn Crow.
Ooh, go for it. Alrighty.
3 attacks is too many.
As that also leaves them incapacitated. I believe I need to double check. It's technically like more precise wording for the actual haste. Actually, I take it back. This is different. This is an ability of theirs. So it still disappears. I'm still going to call it a magical ability, but there is no downside from a normal haste spell. As kind of looks down upon the scythe and kind of like super distends, turning almost 180 degrees while most of the rest of the body kind of stays there. I'm coming for you next. Alrighty, anything else, Bryn?
That's it for me. My spirit can fly 3 feet. So would he be able to get in range of this guy?
With the 40 fly. Yes.
Oh, sorry. I let go of my mouse.
You're good, you're good. As the spirit kind of hovers over there, kind of flying around, the knight will make an attack of opportunity against the undead spirit, though. That is a nat 20. Oh. So that is going to be 17 points of damage. The spirit is still active, though.
And yeah, he can't do damage, but he'll at least try and frighten this one. Should it work if I click it from his sheet? I know it just has
no,
the third level stats.
Here, let me change it up a little bit.
It's just +1 everything, basically.
Let me see. I'll get it set up for you real quick. It's a +8.
And it's only the deathly
or plus a
touch
9
if you-
total hit, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry, it's the damage.
And you cast it at 4th level?
Yeah, it doesn't change anything for the actual attack.
Okay,
It just changes the damage.
Deathly Touch should be good now. Or at least try it. We'll see. All right. Plus an extra 2 that shouldn't have been there. I'll have to check that in a second. But as it strikes, a 19 is absolutely going to be a hit. And the thing is going to try to make a wisdom saving throw. And again becomes frightened.
Oi.
Doing no damage, sadly.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty.
Does the spirit have any movement left?
I believe it had 10 feet of movement, yes.
Could he move here?
Not with the... He can move here, though.
Okay, yeah. I just want him to be in a position where if the thing decides to move, it's not towards the rest of the party.
Roll me a d10, please. Alrighty. With that, that is going to bring us to Silvaria's turn. Go ahead and roll me a d10, Brock.
I do.
Nothing.
Ooh. I hope 3 is good.
You just see Silvaria just like, Janaris, no! As she kind of grabs his body in her massive talons. And that is all she does this turn.
Bro, we gotta focus up.
Alrighty, that is going to bring us to the Wraith's turn, who is going to swing down at you, Bryn.
Damn
At
it.
your boy. Bryn, that is going to be a hit even with shield on. It is going to be 16 points of necrotic damage. Do you have anything fancy for that?
No, I don't think. No.
All right. In that case, make me a Constitution saving throw, please. Alrighty. You save against the life sapping part of it. It's not able to steal your life. I need you to make me a second con saving throw to maintain concentration. Whoo! That was precisely the DC, so nice. Alrighty, that ends the Wraith's turn. That other Wraith is scared, and I guess at this point it really just has a target, though it is with disadvantage. Attempts to attack Silvaria, and that is going to be a miss. This Wraith, however, gets to still attack Henry, is going to swing at him. That is going to be a hit. Myriad, I need you to make me a con saving throw.
Oh boy. All right.
Okay. This was a really high damage roll. He goes unconscious, as his max HP is also reduced by 23 points. Do you have anything that happens when you drop unconscious?
I don't.
Just curious, did your attack roll factor in the protection from evil?
Yeah, the
It
disadvantage.
did. The other roll would have been
Okay.
a nat 20, which would have been 56
Oof.
points of necrotic damage.
Ow. Ow. Lord Jesus.
Yep. As with that, the thing swivels over and looks towards you, Celine, as its next target. Brockton, it is your turn.
I should not have come over here. So I'm just kind of...
I don't know why, but I thought of Hagbrick immediately, like, I should not have said that. I should not have.
Burns hurt on the inside.
damn it.
Oof.
Oh well. I'm gonna bonus action disengage and try and head this way a little bit, I suppose. I don't want to get too close to what's his bucket there.
Alrighty, Celine. Myriad.
Okay.
Henry went down despite your spell, though technically it's still active.
Yes. Okay. So, she just touched him, cast protection from evil and good. She turns around like 3 seconds later to try to melt the guy that's hitting him, and she sees him go down. In the meantime, her brother casts Flanner, and she's whoa. Okay, so she's in the air. Before she goes, she sees Henry Myriad / Henry go down. She just grabs him as she's floating up into the air. I'm gonna cast Healing Hands as my action. I'm gonna restore 7 hit points. So I'm gonna bring him back up. And she's gonna try to, as she's continuing my movement, I'm gonna go up. I think it's 30 feet. Is 30 feet fly?
You will get
It's
an
Or is it my
attack.
movement?
It's
60
60
feet.
total, so you have 55 feet left, but you will get an attack of
Oh.
opportunity from this guy right here, just so you know.
That's fine. I'm gonna cast. So I'm gonna cast Healing Hands on Henry as I'm leaving, and then I you can see her fingers grasping to him and let him go as she continues to fly 60 feet in the air, and I'll take that opportunity attack.
All right. Gets a free swing at you, and thankfully that's a miss. Whoo! As you start flying up.
Oof.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll go 60 feet, between my brother and Henry, and eventually my fingers stop grasping him, and I'm up with my brother
Yes.
and fly.
Yes.
And how high up did you want to end up? Sorry, 30 or?
No, if I can go 60 feet, I'll go the entire
You
60
can go
feet.
55 feet up because you moved a little bit over to be able to touch Henry, and then
Great.
just 55 feet straight up.
Yeah, 55 sounds perfect.
Okie dokie. All right, with that, Apekis.
Oh no, hate that.
Oh, no.
Mind you, you also technically have the ape's intelligence and its wisdom. Did your wisdom just go up?
Rude, yes. As well as the
Called out.
con, and the dex, and the strength. But charisma went down. Oh, listen, we're not gonna talk about. Yeah, we're gonna just take a couple swings at this knight here. Hopefully.
All right, that is absolutely a hit as you kind of ram him into the ground. You see the shadow metal certainly hurts and stings as you pull back, but it seems to be kind of like coming apart, almost like threads of shadow. I believe you have another attack, right?
Sure do.
Woof. As with that, you strike down. You feel bones crunch underneath it as the shadow just pushes outwards, and you just annihilate that knight altogether as they disappear. However, as your hand pulls back, you remember just like fragments of the person that you were before you became Apicus. You excitedly point towards a pile of not completely clean bones. Kind of pointing at the bones and then looking at Bryn.
Me?
Yeah, and that'll do it. Apis
Alrighty.
doesn't have much else.
Alrighty. You left Scorn in an interesting situation. Yep. He is going to swing down upon Henry. First things first, I also need to roll a d6.
But with disadvantage.
Advantage, disadvantage, canceling each other out. That is still going to be a hit on you, Henry. He just doesn't have a super high AC, sadly. Fuck. I need you to make me a con saving throw, Henry. Sorry, Mariette. Alright, with that, thankfully, you only go unconscious. You are so prone. Oh yeah.
So prone.
Also, so prone. This goes away. This goes away. As then Scorn is going to swivel around. Let's see, how far can he move? Yep. Brockton, go to roll me a d10. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Roll me a d4, Brockton. As the little guy kind of runs across, the dragon is getting angry as she kind of looks up and kind of growls. Would make normally an opportunity attack. The weirdness of what's going on with her is going to then direct it against, sadly, our Apicus instead. It's going to try to bite you.
Alright.
Oh, fuck me. That is going to be a crit. I apologize.
Cool.
34
Cool
points
beans.
of piercing damage. I need you to make me a DC 17 con saving throw, please.
Okay.
Well, no more ape because our ally is no longer our ally.
Nope.
Okay, we have at least one more DM inspiration. I don't know if you want to use it, Celine, but there it is.
You're still muted.
Wait.
What, I have one?
You do have
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I appreciate you. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Come on, please. Please, nice gods. Oh.
Hold up, you know what?
Foundry.
No. Here's the thing, though. You get to reroll the base die, but you have still rolled a 4 on your blessed die from Silvaria. So the total
Okay.
becomes a 19. You maintain concentration.
Marcus wasn't blessed.
I appreciate you, David, but I don't
you
think
are
I was
blessed by
blessed.
something. What is going on? Why do you have a +4 on that
Blessed
one
by
save
good
there?
luck.
Oh, no,
That's the
no.
Constitution save.
It was
That's
her.
the
attack.
ape's
Yeah.
That was her.
Constitution.
That's that. No.
Appreciate
I
you.
was looking
Really
at the attack.
appreciate you.
I apologize.
Thank you, though. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I mean, if you want to call it.
As with that, Marcus, you kind of drop back down. You're like, fuck. And with that, a second attack is made against Bryn. Bryn, that is going to be a hit unless you shield.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I guess. We can forget about the shielding. We'll just let that go through. Whew. All right. as with that, you are able to keep the scythe at bay. Henry, go to make me a death saving throw, please. All right.
Success.
First success. Sebastian.
Sebastian. Okay, so from where I'm at, flying there, I will. I'll fly just a tiny bit closer, like 10 feet closer to. Oh shit! Hold on, I know his name. Scorn Crow.
Mm-hmm.
So so I'll get right there, and then I'll just reach behind me and I'll grab onto the black smoky wings and I'll pull them around. And in my hands, like 2 black kind of fireballs, like the Wicked Witch of the West from the Wizard of Oz. I'll just throw those 2 at Scorn Crow and see what happens with my Eldritch Blast.
All right.
First one, 21.
The first one, he kind of like blocks off again, the scythe kind of cutting through and cutting that in half as the shadow magic just dissipates.
Damn, okay. And 17.
A 17 is a hit. As he's not able to block the second one. I would say with Bryn there, he doesn't get pushed past that though.
Oh, because he parried last.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his speed is reduced by 10 feet. That's all I got. And then, and that's it. Just waiting for my next thing.
All right. Oh boy. Okay. Bryn, as the shield kind of dissipates and he gets hit a couple times. You still have the Wraith and him on you. What do you want to do?
I'm going to look at the Scorn Crow and boop him on the nose and cast Shocking Grasp.
You don't have to. Okay. Scorn Crow already doesn't have a reaction if you're doing that for reaction reasons. He used parry.
Oh, he did it again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's just the same turn. Sure, I'll do it on the other guy then. I still boop him on the nose.
Sure. Alrighty. That boop still hits. That is going to be 5 points, reduced down to 2 points of lightning damage, as it seems that did get resisted somewhat, but the reaction is gone nonetheless.
Where do I want to go? Leathering tool.
Talk us through it. What's happening?
I just want to get away from everything.
Go for it.
I am not useful here, and I'm about to die. So I think I'm gonna run as far as I can towards my spirit. Cast Misty Step.
Mind you, if you Misty Step, you're not going to be able to command the spirit.
It doesn't take a bonus action. It's a
That's
free
right.
action.
My goodness.
Try again, David.
All right, what do you command the spirit to do?
He's gonna attack both of the ghosty guys. So he'll attack this one first. Oh no.
Mm-mm.
More decision.
Yeah. Not an optimal protection against Henry getting schwacked again, but
Yeah, he'll attack the same way.
okay. All right, this time it hits. Does no damage. Wisdom saving throw incoming, and that is going to be another fail.
And then he'll move. That's it. That's it for everything.
All right, cool. That is going to bring us to Sylvaria. Go ahead and give me a D10, Brockton. As she kind of like shakes her head.
What? You are not. What is happening? Chinaros, where are you? Chinaros!
As she kind of looks about. All right, this wraith is going to focus its attention upon a new target. Floats towards you, Marcus, and is going to try to take a swipe.
I'm just a human. I'm not an ape. The ape went that way.
I'm just over here. Don't worry about me. That is going to be a hit. Going to make me a con saving throw, please. As you
How did I
take
get here? Where
18
am I?
points of necrotic damage. And with that, your max HP is also reduced by 18.
Wow. Wow, the ape's con really was way better than yours.
I literally only have it beat in intelligence and charisma. That's it. It's better in every other way.
Right, this wraith is going to try to attack and miss. Sylvaria loses the frightened at the end of it. This wraith over here. I'll give it to you that it hasn't really had to engage with it. That spirit makes the attack. Nothing happens. Brockton, it's your turn.
Seeing this thing go after Marcus, I'm gonna bonus action enchant some of the pebbles I picked up earlier and whip one at it.
All right, as it sails through the air and it's 60 feet, right? Perfect. That is going to be a hit. Go ahead and roll me sneak attack.
Hey.
Nice.
Very.
Ooh, alrighty.
least
This
something
thing
worked
looks
out.
fucking rough after that hit. As you just like, what does it look like as you do that?
He reaches into the pocket that he put the stones in, and you kind of see a green, like a healthy green, not a sickly green glow, just kind of barely peek out of the pocket. And then he takes out one of the stones, and it's glowing pretty clearly. And he just, almost like he's trying to skip a stone, like a little bit of a sidearm type of a thing.
Alrighty. As with that, anything else a bonus action? Anything as a move?
That was my bonus action.
Oh, yeah, that's right, sorry.
Casting the spell. And I guess I'll get myself over here near Henry. Or the purple people leader formerly known as Henry.
Marianne. All right, Celine, it's your turn.
You muted.
Sorry about that. Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Hello. As she's lifted up, she sees Henry go down again. That's unfortunate. Yes.
It's bad,
So-
Henry. So do we actually care?
But you also see Brock is standing next to him.
We certainly do very much. What now? Yes, I see that. Yes, that's great. So I'm like, whoa! I'm flying up in the air. Celine will. Oh boy, what to do? This one looks more powerful than the one. I don't know. Okay. But Bryn's next to the other one. He's super powerful, so it's fine. This guy. Yeah, so the one that's directly below her, she's gonna conjure up 2 Eldritch Blasts in her hands, and she's gonna just release them both at this entity.
The one directly below you?
Yeah, I targeted it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's
I have to target it if I'm clicking the
the
button.
barely injured one.
The
Yes.
barely
Got it.
injured one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a 14 is going to be a hit.
Woohoo.
Hey.
Yeah.
A 13 is going to be a miss.
Oh.
This is what happens when you ask me to roll your dice.
You're doing great. I love it so much. She's super distraught. Henry's dead.
Yeah. Sure do look that way.
But the 14 hits is a 10 damage, yeah?
Yep. It
Does it look
10
fucked
damage.
up?
It takes some damage as you see some of the shadow stuff kind of pulls out. It's like angrily looks up towards you.
Shadow stuff. Are we really enemies, though?
Right.
Yeah, I think the answer is yes.
Okay,
I don't think
that's
so.
the end of my
We're-
turn.
We're all friends here.
Ah.
All right, do you want to move?
Clearly.
Nope. All right, Marcus, it's your turn.
Okay. Couple questions, and I apologize.
Mhm,
Would Marcus know at all if he was to try to cast a hypnotic pattern? Would that does Scorn Crow seem fey, like too fey in order for that to be effective, or if it's not effective against the dead?
Make me an
You know,
Arcana check. On one or the other. I'll let you only do one or
Okay.
the other.
We are gonna do for Scorn Crow. Cool.
Only one
Probably
way to
don't know
find
anything. Yep. Okay. Second question. Daenerys, is that his name? I apologize.
The Queen of Dragons?
No. Yeah, I know.
Daenerys.
Gennaros.
Noble.
Does he look
House
dead?
Targaryen, Daenerys
He looks
Stormborn.
very much dead.
What's her name?
What's
Okay,
the difference
so like
between him and the girl? Sorry.
so like a cure wounds won't help. Okay, cool. Cool. Sorry, I'm in panic mode because I have two scary people and a dragon who can't get her shit together.
Mhm.
We are just gonna do hypnotic pattern and hope for the fucking best.
Alrighty.
Go. Okay. So hopefully if I place it there, it's not gonna affect her.
Alrighty. You place it there. Both of them are immune to being charmed. As you kind of shoot that off, and you see Scorn Crow kind of turn over. Their hood is kind of over, and you can see these red burning points of irises kind of looking at you with this wicked smile, the teeth glinting back with the sparkles kind of fading away, and the wraith just doesn't seem to be affected at all.
Marcus is gonna take out his sword. Few times he's ever actually used the rapier or longsword, I guess, and you ready for what's?
Whew, alright. Round 4. Scorn Crow angles towards you and seems to almost feed on the fear that you exhibit. As he kind of seems to speak some words sweetly to himself. And as he steps forward, you can see again the shadows seem to kind of supernaturally speed him up. He doesn't make an attack as he seems to have that be his action, but he steps forward with vicious intent in his eyes. As I'm going to have to reload really quick. Whew. What do you think is going through Marcus's head as this thing steps towards you?
Probably a scythe in a minute.
I didn't ask Brockton.
Marcus is actually gonna look over at Brockton, and there's kind of like just this moment for Marcus of like, if I can distract this guy from killing Brockton's mother even for a little bit longer, it'll be worth it.
All right, Henry, come on. Roll me that natural 20, please. Get that turn. Get it now.
Come on, that's a 20.
Ah, so close, too. God
So
damn
close,
it.
2 away, 2 away.
Alrighty, Sebastian.
Okay. Sebastian is gonna fly all the way over to. Still gonna be at 30 feet, but gonna fly all the way over to Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
And. Okay.
I'll say if you
So
want
I
to
will
push
shoot-
anyone away, you will have to fly down.
Okay. I will shoot one Eldritch Blast at the Spectre individual. So yeah, I'll shoot the first one at that guy. Okay. Okay. All right. And then I'll natural 1. And then I'm gonna shoot the second one at Scorncrow. 15.
That's another miss.
Okay. I will. How much? Ooh, how many feet of movement? I forgot how much I used. Can I float down 15 feet?
Mhm.
Cool. All right, and that is it for me.
Alrighty. Bryn.
Oh God.
Uh-huh.
Oh God. Seems like such a bad idea, but if it works, it'll be such a good idea.
Tell me more.
I am going to free action cry, and then
No, free action. Free action.
how far away is it? I even have to hold, please. No, I don't have to. Well, then I'm not gonna move. That simplifies things.
Just kidding.
I'm just saying a quick prayer to the dice gods because none of us have DM inspiration left.
Lord.
I am going to rifle around through my backpack again really quick and pull out this spell scroll and cast Banishment on the Scorncrow.
Oh, shit. Okay. Go ahead and use it. Oh, shit. You rip it out. As you kind of hold it up angrily, you start to read, kind of tracing along the lines. As the
Please.
starts to collect. And as you kind of punch through, you see these concentric circles starting to kind of form around Scorncrow. He's like,
What? No! Carvinaros is here!
and tries to use the scythe as these things kind of cut down, become smaller, and then just with a Scorncrow disappears.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so does the undead spirit.
Oh, that's true. Thank you.
Because banishment's a concentration spell.
As you like, you now have this ball of energy in your hand. You know that you have to maintain this concentration for the next minute. You have to hold where Scorn Crow returns. Scorn Crow 2. Nightmare on Dream Grove Lane. All right. Well, that turned out terrible. Do you move? Do you do something else? What do you? That was awesome. I'll give you a DM inspiration for. Oh man, sacrificing that.
I'm gonna die. These things are gonna kill me. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. It's not gonna be a check, obviously, because that was my action. But I really just need these things to not come after me. So I'm gonna look at Silvaria and I'm just gonna yell, "Get it together, or we will die!" And then I will. This is all like woods to the right of me, right?
It is heavily enough together that I'll say for the purposes of this, you don't think that this creature is going to be even slowed by this stuff, though it will slow you down.
Well, that's dumb. I mean, I just gotta get as far as I can. Okay. That's it for me.
All right. I say
whoops,
because
sorry.
you're the one. No, you're good because you're the one who said it. Go ahead and roll me a d10, Bryn.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
now
it's
it's
not
gonna
my
be
fault
bad,
if
and I'm
Marcus
gonna
dies.
blame myself.
A 9 is good news. As Silvaria kind of snaps out of it, she sees Brockton again and she goes,
Son, you.
and she seems to kind of like pull herself back right up against the tree itself as she unleashes her breath weapon.
Oh.
Okay, maybe tone it down a bit. We're all still next to each other.
As you see, reality itself seems to kind of like rip and tear as both of these things try to make a dex saving throw. And they both are just annihilated instantly.
Oh, damn.
Ooh, that was a clutch 9. That was such a clutch 9.
All right,
However-
Tyler gets to roll all the d10s from now on.
Yes.
That brings us to the last wraith on the battlefield, however, that is going to swivel around because this could get really fucking bad. Okay, I just need to, if this thing somehow does 37 points of damage, because your max HP is reduced, that is an instant dead.
If you fail. So it has to do 37 points of damage,
Listen.
and you have
No.
to fail.
Put that shit out first.
No,
We're
a crit right
that's-
now
no.
would kill Marcus.
Can you make it a public roll so I can see it now? I'm
Oh,
kidding.
I thought you
Joking,
meant
I'm
like
joking.
it would put their max health to 0 because of the constitution save.
That is going to be a hit for a dirty 20. Make me a con saving throw. As you take 19 points of necrotic damage.
All right.
Okay.
And that's a fail. I rolled an 8. I imagine.
Your max HP has been reduced to a total of 1.
What?
My God.
Sebastian will never love again. He'll never love
Marcus
again.
is
if
such a
this-
dramatic bitch.
Brockton.
I shout up to Celine, kill that thing! And I run over here and use one of my healer kits. I'm just gonna use it as a healer kit and not as the healing thing.
I got you.
Since I can't give her more than one, or him more than one hit point anyway. So.
And with that, Marcus, at least you are stable.
Well, and I still have the healer feed, so gets a hit point back.
Oh yeah, and you are conscious, and you're max health.
I've never felt more alive and dead at the same time.
Wow, this is the first time I've ever had this scenario happen. Max HP reduced to 1 HP. That was so fucking close. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I feel a little sick.
Oh my
Not gonna lie.
god.
Yeah.
Celine. Sorry, Brockton, you were done, right?
No, I'm done.
Okay,
You're good.
okay. All right, Celine.
Worst being muted or something.
Okay. Celine watches Brockton as he says, "End it," and she's like, "Why are you walking away from Henry?" I'm gonna fly down 30 feet
Oh no.
as my movement.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to look at the only enemy left on the battlefield. Plenty of range.
And
As she
murder him.
conjures not one but 2 Eldritch Blasts in her hands and releases them both together at the Wraith entity next to Marcus.
Oh,
Nice.
oh,
Hit. 11 points
Yeah?
of damage.
Okay.
How do you want to do this?
Yay!
Oh, God.
Okay, yeah, so she's like, "Why are you walking away from Henry?" And she's gonna just like start descending down to where he is to try to help him. But as she does, she centers herself and releases these 2 Eldritch Blasts towards him, which streak towards him in shadowy energy and just explode in raven feathers. And then she's gonna drop down to the ground and just land next to Henry.
As you land next to
Whoa.
Henry, making sure that his wounds are not going to be deadly anymore. As Marcus, you look up towards Brockton as he brought you back. But Brockton, that's a whole other
Brackish.
shit. But as you guys do, the dragon
Generos.
she steps forward and just kind of gently picks up the body of her lover in her claws. And with that, we're going to leave it for this week's session.
I just want to say, as soon as there's no more people on the field, Bryn's just gonna immediately fall to the ground and just,
Power.
nobody touch me, nobody touch me, nobody touch me.
Oh. Whew, that was fucking bananas. That was fucking insane.
Yeah, I really thought we were going back to Odyssey next week.
Yeah, that was... Damn. Clutch Ape, Clutch fucking Undead Spirit, despite it not doing damage to Frightening. Whoo, that was good. That was real good. There were 2 natural 20s that got eaten by that, which the damage that these things rolled, maximized, is plus 32 points of necrotic damage. So I cannot give enough credit to both of those moves. Of course, the twins getting themselves out of attack range, keeping themselves safe, and pew-pewing was a very smart move. That was insane. That was fucking...
For as much that it
That's
did.
you was smart. Celine's dumb.
No.
We all know this. It's fine.
It worked. It fucking worked. Do not talk badly about yourself because you guys did that well. Holy shit. All right, everyone. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. It is absolutely a delight to play through all of this, especially with you six and with all of you guys watching. We'll be back at it again next week. Same time, same place, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys so much. See you guys then. Woo-hoo.